I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm real and they be faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They free General Flint out the cage cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Justin Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. I got home just in time, and I know probably everybody is celebrating and eating and, spending time with your families. So I don't think I'll be on here for too long, but I put the link just in case if anybody wants to join. Hi, John Marciano. He says, Merry Christmas, everyone, and Ruby and the whole gang. Yes, I know. There were a couple of topics. I put it really quickly on the title of tonight's show, even though I don't know if I'll get into it all the way, because I wanted to do the Blake Lively subject with King Tony, but she's in a Dominican household, and Dominicans celebrate Christmas today. Okay. So I think I might just talk about the Nick Fuentes assassination attempt. That was wild. If you don't know about that one, I'll get into that in a second. If you also don't know about what happened in New York City on the subway, there was, and we don't even know who she is yet. I don't know if that information has come out yet, but I didn't see it. Anybody can correct me in the comments in the future if you're seeing this in the future. As of right now, we don't know who was set on fire, but there was a woman set on fire in the New York City subway. That was crazy. We're going to get into that because apparently it was a Guatemalan illegal immigrant that was already once deported before, came back into this country, and then ultimately committed this crime. That was crazy. And then the next one was Blake Lively lawsuit. There's a whole lot with that, and like the whole celebrity world and Hollywood, and we talk about it a lot. So I don't even know how to feel about this one. And that's why I wanted King Tony, but they're celebrating Christmas. Okay, and then the last subject that was super crazy was about an Orthodox Jewish community in Guatemala. They were just raided, and the authorities saved over like 160 children, minors, and women from, I guess, a compound, or I don't know what. They raided their place, and they saved a bunch of alleged minors and women that were abused. I don't even know the full story yet, because that's how these stories get buried. They get buried so much that I would have to dig for it. And we're going to have to like revisit that one and revisit a lot of things, because right now it's the holidays, obviously. Okay. So I'm going to start into Nick Fuentes. If you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, he is, I guess, like the founder of America First movement. I agree with like 90% of Nick Fuentes and his ideas and opinions. And that took a long time for me to get there, but you could look him up. And one of the first things that you will always find about these people who are like political commentators or have like really weird or considered like far right extreme ideas, they're going to call them names. So you're going to see things like, oh, he's a white supremacist, oh, he's an anti-Semite, etc. You already know the rundown. They did the same thing to Candace Owens. So it's almost like another Candace Owens type, but his name is Nick Fuentes, live streamer, has a show and everything. So anyways, He comes out with a lot of controversial like ideas and takes about modern politics. And so he has been deplatformed, demonetized, everything off the internet. And he can only stream through like Rumble or like Cozy TV, like alternative forms of media. And so I don't really watch him that much. All I know is that I mostly agree with the ideology. So apparently, this past election, you know how wild it got, and everybody was really emotional about, politics in this past 2024. So when the Roe v. Wade stuff got overturned, and I remember all of this. If you can remember it as well, you know how high the tensions were in politics during that time. And so he made a joke on the internet, and he said, your body, he quote, allegedly, he said, I mean, I don't know if it's still up. Maybe it is still up. But he said, your body, my choice forever. And that was the biggest controversial thing that he said on, on the internet. But it was a joke. And I understand. Oh, Jimmy Bell says, I'm not a fan of Nick Fuentes. I met him at J6 and he was staying at the same hotel I was at. I didn't get a good vibe from him. Okay, yeah. So he's more of like the Zoomer generation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more of like mine and the next generation that he is really his audience. And he has a lot of, you can say controversial or like just extreme takes, right? And I mean, I don't care about that, but I just wish the delivery was a little bit better. And the most problematic thing about Nick Fuentes is his fan base. There's a lot of people and they call them gropers. And listen, I already had my fair share of that. They put me through the ringer on the internet. So I am not new to getting dragged online. You know what I'm saying? So that was my problem, was his fan base, was the things he was saying. It's just the it was just maybe wrong timing, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like he was ahead of his time and people were not ready for the message that he was giving. And he didn't care either. He was going to say what he said. And I'm okay with that. Free speech, say what you need to say, but be prepared that when you do say stuff that the majority of people are not going to take it well. So recently, there was an assassination attempt on Nick Fuentes. This man drove 2 hours to his residence with a pistol, an assault rifle, and a crossbow. Out of all things, I found that a little weird. But he came armed, and he was knocking on his door, calling out his name. And you can definitely look up those clips because this is gonna be like a quick review. But anyways, that's what happened. And even before this happened, there was these progressive liberals, I guess you can say, older women, millennial women that had doxed him on the internet, and they were also at his residence before this happened. So he was getting harassed. This is not new for him. So the opinion that I wanted to give about this whole thing, because it just happened this past week, was that if you are going to go online with your political ideas, no matter what they are, whether it's left, right, whatever, you just have to be prepared for that type of backlash. And if you're not prepared, then maybe you're not ready to come on the internet and talk about these things. And that's why these platforms have the rules that they do. And, unfortunately, he was deplatformed a very long time ago. So that should already give you like a red flag, like, okay, is a little too spicy. let me go somewhere else. And he did, which is good. That's what I'm saying. It's like I agree with that. But you need to be prepared for that type of stuff. You can't just be a, Twitter finger warrior and then be surprised when people start doxing you, harassing you, and even if they try to kill you. There's a lot of crazy people out here, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I kind of said on Twitter, like, I don't condone that. Like, that's not right. We shouldn't be taking politics to the level of hatred or anger that you're willing to take somebody's life. Like, no, that's wrong. You should advocate for free speech, even if you disagree with him. That doesn't mean that he can just be silenced. You should be able to debate these types of ideas. Rack, hi Rack. She says hello to everybody. Yeah, so anyways, that was kind of crazy because we saw Trump and his assassination attempt. Now we see the Nick Fuentes attempt, and I kind of feel weird. Like, they're really trying to kill these people that they disagree with just because you disagree with somebody. That's my thing. Like, I would never take politics that seriously to try to take somebody out. Like, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't agree with it. And just like Jimmy said, he's not a fan of Nick and he didn't get a good vibe from him. You can hold that opinion, but it shouldn't go too far. Whereas I don't like you, so I don't want to hear what you have to say, and you don't deserve a platform or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need to be balanced. We talk about this all the time. We're about being balanced, especially on the internet. You can hold certain like extremist views to yourself, right? I mean, I'm sure most of us have that where you don't say how you really feel about certain things because you know that it might be offensive or whatever it is. But like I said on the last stream, that I don't hold myself back in fear of offending people. So you see, there's a very fine line when it comes to that. So that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit with the whole Nick Fuentes thing. So anyways, yeah, unfortunately he was doxxed and he has to relocate and everything. So that's a whole thing in itself. And I feel really sorry for people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be able to live in this country and not be afraid to say what we want without harassment, right? Like, that's what gets me. Okay, so I'll move on to the next subject, which was about the subway in New York City. We don't know who she was, if she was an American or if she was another migrant or if she was homeless, if she was not, or what led up to the point that this illegal migrant from Guatemala lit her on fire. Look up the video if you want on the internet and tell me how you feel about that video in the comments. If you already seen it and you're watching live, let me know in the comments. In the future, if you're watching this from the future, watch that video, come back here and let me know how you feel about that, because I don't even know how to feel about that. In the video, you see this person, because I don't even know if that's a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what's real anymore sometimes, right? So this person is lit on fire and the person is not even moving. And I tried to look through the comments, like, what could be the reason that this person is either not feeling the pain or not even trying to save themselves, like not running, not moving, absolutely nothing. It is the most bizarre video that I have ever seen. Jimmy says the woman wasn't even moving or anything, just standing there. Who does that? Exactly. Which makes me feel like, is this even real? Because if I were to see that, or if that were to happen to me, I would be running like frantically. I would be patting myself, trying to get the fire out. I would be screaming, at least screaming. There was not one sound coming out from that woman, and she was not even moving. She was just standing there burning. Jimmy says, just another BS distraction. Exactly, but distraction from what? You see, I feel like they come out with a new distraction every single time for something that they know is going to come out right after it or right before it. And then they put something like this to distract people, like, oh my God, there's a woman on fire in the subway and she's just standing there. And it makes us talk about that rather than what's really going on. That's why I added about the Guatemalan Jew raid, because what are the chances that this fire story and that this raid would have a connection of Guatemala? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just one connection that I can make. I haven't made any other connections. But I was looking through the comments and somebody said that, like, somebody pointed it out, like, oh, this is just a distraction because of what happened in Guatemala and the Jew raid. And if you don't know about that, apparently there's these Orthodox Jews that were abusing either women, young women, I don't know what, and that they were having either children or kidnapping. It was like a whole ring of human trafficking, basically. But then the fire story comes out, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, what? John Marciano says, it's disgusting. That's how I view the video. The illegal was probably on drugs, but there are still a number of questions. Was the woman on drugs too? Exactly. But if you're on drugs, does that mean you don't feel anything? Like, I don't know. I've never been on drugs like that. So I don't even know how to judge what I'm seeing, because I'm like, if you're on drugs, is it that you don't feel anything? Or are you so high that your receptors in your brain are not going off, like no pain signals? Is that what it is? I don't know, but like, dang. Yeah, so she's just standing there in the subway station, and the perpetrator is literally fanning her off. He sits there and he just watches her burn. And I'm thinking, is anybody else watching the same thing I am? Like, if I was there in person, would you not be screaming or like reacting in a certain way? Nobody was screaming. Everybody was passing by, walking as if nothing. I mean, nobody was looking for anything. Nobody was suggesting anything. Nobody was willing to talk about helping somebody, let alone actually doing something to help somebody. So a lot of people were talking about that. Like, are we so down bad in our humanity that we don't even look to help when somebody else is in trouble? Jimmy Bell says, what drones? Exactly. We totally forgot about the drones already. And that's still an issue. Like, what? How long has it already been that the drones appeared and, broke the internet with that? I don't even know. And we're already like, yeah, there's drones in the sky. So what? Yeah, that's normal now. It's already normalized. Like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then one of my very first thoughts was, is this woman an American? Is she even, if she is, and that's another thing, that every single time something happens now, especially in New York City, where we know that there was a huge migration over there from the border. Now, every single time something bad happens, we gotta think to ourselves, is this person even a citizen? And then that's what gets me, like, it makes me feel a little bit bad, because I'm like, do people actually are we thinking like that now? Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Excuse me. Jimmy Bell says it was probably a robot. Oh my goodness. Like, yeah, I can't wait until they actually give us the details about who she was, because there's a whole lot of like misinformation already going around the internet, and I don't believe nothing. So I'm gonna wait until we get the right documents. Then we could circle back to the story and be like, remember when we talked about this? Yeah, this is who she is, because it doesn't look right. It don't sound right. Then this man just sits there. I mean, you could tell he's on something, or he's mentally ill. So I'm like, this would have never happened if we would have had border security. And I feel like we always say that, and it's getting old. You know what I mean? Like, it's just getting too old for me. And then I was talking to King Tony yesterday, and she was like, that she told me like she felt like she has a knot in her stomach. Oh, and Jimmy, she went down a whole bunch of rabbit holes, and she's been like sending me a bunch of stuff. So she's waking up faster than I thought she would. And so and I told her, you got to get off the internet. Just get off the internet, because you're taking in a lot, and you just have to like just process it, So she was telling me, oh, I have like such a knot in my stomach. And I was like, why? And I'm like, is it a good or a bad knot? Like, anxious, or are you falling off your rocker? Like, are you spiraling? Like, what? And she's like, I don't even know. I feel like I just want things to happen already. She wants it to change already. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know how you feel, but that's exactly why we can't overwhelm ourselves. Like, we have to let things play out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I kind of hate that too. Jimmy says, yeah, I know. She sent me some messages today. Yeah, she was all over the internet for days. And she was sending me a bunch of stuff on Instagram and it was just a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've went down these holes already. Jimmy says, I'll come on camera on a few. Okay, cool, Jimmy. Yeah, because I was telling her, this is why I don't like incrementalism. I am more of a abolitionist, like straight out. I want real change, radical change, and I want it yesterday. But that's not how this government works. I don't think any government really works that fast. And if there is a government or political party or whatever that works that fast, let me know in the comments, because I don't think there is any government that works that fast. Because in a perfect world and in a perfect government, I don't know, maybe like a monarchy? What do you guys think? I don't know, because I feel like if we had a different type of government, I don't know. I don't Jimmy says, that's not how this plan was designed to work. Okay, I get that. But you see, that's the perspective of their plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, either if it's Q or if it's any other type of plan, that's how they're playing it out. I feel like either like an outside source, like it has to be something from the outside, because I really don't trust the government regardless. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like if it's either like divine intervention or if we had like a king or something that could get rid of everything and everybody right now. But we don't work like that. And this government doesn't work like that. Jimmy says it is coming from the outside. Because I mean, I know you say all the time, like it's an alliance. It's like the good ones from the inside type of thing. You know, like they're helping. And I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think that there's, you know, good and bad ones and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just kind of feel like I would abolish it. Whatever, I would abolish evil right there and then. You know what I mean? Like just get rid of it right now. Yeah. But justice works slow, especially in America. I feel like it works so slow. So slow. Like you gotta vote on it. You gotta put a bill. You have to get people to vote on it. It's like you gotta do all this talking. That's democracy. That's what it is. That's the real democracy, right? And I kind of feel like democracy is a little slow when it comes to justice. A little bit too slow. So I don't know. We will see. And I mean, and same thing with the Blake Lively situation. As soon as Jimmy comes on, I'm going to ask him about that, because there's a whole bunch of people in Hollywood, and you know, we talk about it all the time. Oh, you know, they're either like pedophiles or they're clones or whatever. They're puppets, right? They're puppets. They're here to entertain us and distract us also from what the government is doing, right? But then I feel like whenever something like this happens, like when Blake, she's doing this lawsuit and she's suing her co-star in the movie that she just did, is called It Ends With Us. She's suing him for like sexual harassment. And when I read the article, I mean, it was a lot of valid points. Like if I was her, I would do the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like it gave you like another window into look into the evilness of these work environments, especially in Hollywood. Making her do things that she didn't want to do, like very inappropriate, very like super inappropriate stuff. And I feel like they take advantage of that because they're on a set or because they're celebrities. And it's just like the industry. They want to blame it on the industry. And I don't like that. So I don't know how to feel about Blake. Shaq sent a whole bunch of emojis down a rabbit hole. Yeah. And then it also plays into the whole stuff, like that type of lawsuit with the Diddy stuff, with the rumors of how these people become famous, how they be doing stuff to like get blackmail on them, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. But I also didn't like the whole situation with the lawsuit, was because before all of this happened, and I remember this, they were making her out to look like a mean girl. Like they were pushing a narrative that Blake Lively was like a mean girl and she's hard to work with, and they were doing a lot of that and like ruining her like reputation and stuff like that. And she also talks about that in the lawsuit. And I'm glad that all of that stuff is coming up, because I remember that. And that's just proof that whenever you don't bend the knee, whenever you don't make the deal, whenever you don't go along with like this harassment, or like a favor, they're gonna blackball you or like blacklist you and ruin your reputation, to ruin your credibility. And how can you prove that? You know what I'm saying? Because that's been going on forever. We can agree that Hollywood has been here forever and has been doing that to a bunch of people. And you know how some people call it like a humiliation ritual? That's kind of like, it's very similar. So they put you all through, they drag your name through the mud and everything. And I guess whoever caves in, they get the part, they get the movie, they get the part, they get the fame, they get whatever, because they finally bent the knee. Or what if they never do? Do you sue? I don't, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Do you sue them? Like, how can you prove that they were out against you if the whole industry is like technically evil, in my opinion, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. But it does prove that it does happen to celebrities, that some of them say no. Some of them do not go along with whatever that industry is trying to push on them. And I think this is what, in another stream that we mentioned this, and I think Jimmy was on there too, where somebody said on that stream, I remember, that was like those one hit wonders, is because they had a raw talent. They made a single, or they whatever they were doing, project, and it blew up and they became famous. And only one song that really hits, you don't even have to work a day ever again, whatever, like sometimes that happens. And yet you get an album, you get a contract, you get everything, right? And then the theory was about the one hit wonders, that they do one thing, and when they are presented with the contract or whatever, that now they get that deal with the devil moment, and they don't go along with it, they don't sign, they don't bend the knee, and then you never see them again. And you're like, wow, what happened? He was just a one hit wonder. And I kind of believe in that. John Marciano says, was Hollywood always on the dark side? It's just something recent going on. I don't know, guys. You tell me, because you guys are older than me. So, do you think that Hollywood was always on the dark side, or do you think that maybe Hollywood was infiltrated? Maybe, I don't know, because that's how I feel about the government. That maybe America used to be great. That it used to be what it supposed to was. It used to be really what America was supposed to stand for, but somewhere along the lines it fell a long time ago already. You know what I mean? Like, hmm, I don't know. But okay, you see, we would have to do research about Hollywood and like how Hollywood came out to be, because you know how they also say that Hollywood is run by the Jews. I don't know. I don't know. And if you know anything about the Jews and the Zionists, like that whole Zionist movement is it was degenerate. I mean, I don't know about the evils that they do now, but I mean, back in the day, that's what it used to be. So I don't know. Jenny S says, I believe it was Jimmy talking about the one hit wonder. Yeah. And when he explained that, I was like, yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Because you would always wonder like what happened, or or on the other hand, it would be that they had a great movie, great actress, actor, or singer, and then all of a sudden you heard something super like outrageous about them, ruined their reputation, the ticket sales went down, like like they blackballed you. And I would always wonder, like, what? It's like, what? And that's why when Blake Lively was going through it, and there was every like YouTube channel talking about her, magazines, like she was everywhere about how mean she was, about like I don't even know how to explain it. They were just like defaming her all over the place. And then months later, she comes out with this, and then she says it in the lawsuit. Like the lawsuit actually explains how they were planning on doing that to her, that they were in communication. There was text messages of like, oh, we're gonna ruin her. She almost like she needs to know that we got power over her. And that's exactly what it is. It's power and control. And I don't like it. I don't want no part of it. I don't like it. So I don't know. Oh, on the other hand, there are these influencers, actors, reality stars that I think that they do take the deal, that they were already for this from the very beginning, and that their success is because of that deal that they made with the devil. And that's just a figure of speech. They made a deal with the devil, or they sold their soul. I don't think it's literal. I don't know how, if you guys believe in that. I don't know if it's literal or just figure of speech to say that they sold their soul to the devil, meaning like they gave up everything in return for that fame or money or power, control. But you had to give up yourself, basically. I don't know. I don't know if it's a figure of speech or maybe if it's like real, like ritualistic. And even if it is, that's just more evil. But in those terms, I believe that, for example, if anybody has seen the remake of Santa Baby that Kim Kardashian just posted everywhere, and when you're watching that music video or video, whatever it is, because I mean, I think it was actually her singing, and that was the music video. Hold on one second. Okay. But when you're watching that video of Kim Kardashian, and this is somebody who I can say like confidently, I think she did sell her soul a very long time ago. And that's why she's a billionaire now. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody, in my opinion, nobody reaches that kind of a status or fame or wealth in this world without doing something like that. I'm sorry, like, because I don't know. That's just my opinion, because I do believe that Satan is the ruler of this world and he's in power. So if you are sharing in that, then you are a part of the world, and you probably did have to make a deal with the ruler of that world because you've engaged in all of that degeneracy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm a little conflicted when it comes to the spiritual side of this, because it is evil. And, but anyways, while you're looking at that video, there's a lot of symbolism in that music video, and there's a lot of references to I mean, I don't know, is it a conspiracy theory, or is it like is it mockery? Is it mocking people who believe in that, and that's why they put it in, like, I don't know. But one of the things that caught me super more hard for me was that in the Santa Baby video that Kim Kardashian did, they have a donkey, they mimic the nativity, but it's in my opinion a very disrespectful way. They're mocking that. And they had Mary there, And it was just weird. Like, why would you do that? Why would you incorporate that in this music video with your type of platform? You like you don't need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's Kim Kardashian. She's already a billionaire. You don't need to do this. So you're doing it, so much symbolism with a bunch of dark stuff. And then the mockery of Christianity once again. I mean, how many times have we seen Christianity being mocked? It shouldn't be tolerated at all, especially in America. I don't know. Like, I have zero tolerance for that. Jimmy said he'll answer that. Okay, Jimmy. So Jimmy's gonna answer something. Jenny S says, in Hollywood, look at even Shirley Temple was exploited in a kiddie way. And you see, I've heard something like this. So I'm gonna have to go back to that and see what people are talking about, because I've heard that. And I've also heard things about the actress who played the original Wizard of Oz. I've heard some things about her as well. And it's like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think Hollywood is cursed or something, or that, like, it's not somewhere where you would catch any one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would not catch us around there if you're awake enough. John Marciano says, Jenny, it reminded me of Brooke Shields. Remember the scandals around her? Good point, because I saw on the internet that when she started modeling, that she was a minor during that time, and that she did a nude photo shoot and she was still a minor. And I'm like, who allowed that? Who would allow this? Why would her parents allow this? So now that makes me think, like, it even the evilness goes even deeper than that, because who would sign up their kid to do that? I don't know. And I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like how they promote uh degeneracy in this country. And that's why a long time ago I said, maybe we're too free. Maybe we are just too free because it's just rampant. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, because I wouldn't give up this type of freedom for anything. But then at the same time, it's like, dang, the other side still has the right to do what they want to do. But where is the red line, right? Where do you say, no, this is a minor, they shouldn't be able to work in this type of environment or work at all until you're like 16 maybe? Like, I don't know. I just feel like they use that as an excuse, and that's not good enough for me. No child should be in that at all, especially in Hollywood. I think about Justin Bieber too, and that's why Jimmy said a long time ago, "Oh well, Justin was one of the victims. Like, he's proof of being one of those victims." And in my opinion, I'm like, nah, I don't even trust Justin Bieber anymore. Like, that one hit me so hard, and I felt so bad for Justin, because I remember the downfall. I remember the height and the climax of his fame. He was like the Michael Jackson for my generation, and we saw him really fall hard. And I was just like, why would his mother agree to something like this? Why wasn't I'm not gonna even get into it, because I'm just gonna get upset. Hi Esty. Esty says Keanu Reeves was blacklisted for not doing Speed 2. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. But you see, even with Keanu Reeves, and I thought he was one of the good ones, I was so disappointed to see that there is a picture of him online. I don't know if it's real or not. And who knows nowadays if it's even real. But he had lipstick on and he was cross-dressing, and I know that that's another, like, theory about Hollywood, that they make the men dress like women, or they make them cross-dress like that. And we've seen it. It's a fact. How we've seen them put these rappers and stuff in dresses and tutus and skirts, and it's just weird. Like, I don't know what type of era we're living in right now, but I saw a picture of Keanu Reeves that he did the exact same thing very long time ago. He looks super young. And I don't know, maybe was that what he had to do to and get in the club? You know, like I don't know. No. Oh, Jimmy's here. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, good evening. Oh my God, why is the volume doing? It didn't do it last time I did this.
What happened?
I had good volume. Its volume is like low. All right.
Yeah.
Let me do my weekly ritual and bounce out and come back
Yeah.
in and see if it works better.
Okay. The firecracker says, "Hey Ruby, I'm sorry I never get to catch a live with you on Tuesday nights. Just had a date with hubby. So Homestead, the movie, loved it, especially the ending. And we're stopping at the grocery store, almost home. Oh, nice, Fire. Yeah, everybody's hanging out. Oh, you sent me a DM. Okay, perfect. Let me go to Twitter. I mean X. X. Okay, here we go. Ah, okay. So we'll look at that clip. Esty says they got Judy Garland hooked on drugs. Oh, is that the actress? Brooke Shields did sex scenes in Pretty Baby about child prostitutes. Oh, it's all about getting more money. You see what I'm saying, Jane? No, I don't like that. Should be illegal. Jenny S says learning all about the bad things with the kids. I can only watch like The Voice and say that kid a great singer. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I saw the link that you sent me, and you said to play the first minute of it.
Yeah, it's like 21 minutes. I was looking for a shorter clip, but you could just play like the first minute. And this is Bob Dylan.
Okay. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me see these settings. Okay, got you. Present the scree. Okay, let's see.
No, why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
A music legend just admitted he gave up their soul to be who they are today. Bob Dylan did just that. He confessed to making a dark deal, and the more you hear, the more chilling it becomes. He didn't shy away, speaking openly of a mysterious chief commander he made this pact with. Was it all worth the fame, the legend, and the price? Tune in as we dive into the shadows of fame, exploring the unimaginable costs one man paid for greatness, and why we might never know the whole truth. Something so dark, it leaves you stunned. Do you believe in destiny? Bob Dylan says he does, and it's what keeps him on stage after all these years. It's the destiny thing, he says. He's holding up his end of a bargain he made to become the legend he is today. And he doesn't even try to hide it. It's right there in his words, as if he's letting us in on some forbidden secret. But a secret this big, why share it now? What was your bargain, Bob? Who did you make it with? He's asked. And the answer, well, it sends chills down your spine. The chief commander, he says. On this earth and the world we can't see. It's the kind of answer that makes you shiver, that makes you wonder, is there something more going on behind the curtains of fame and fortune? Dylan's life has always been a bit of a mystery. He was known for his poetic lyrics.
All right, you could probably cut it there, Ruby.
Okay. Wow. And that's not the first time we've heard something like that. Like when Lady Gaga came out, she said stuff like that. Katy Perry.
Yep.
I remember certain celebrities saying that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that surprising.
Yeah. And going back to the question that you guys asked in the chat, is this just something recent with Hollywood, or has this been going on for a while? This has been going on since the inception of Hollywood.
Mm,
And the reason I say that is, okay, so is child trafficking a new thing?
I don't think so.
Is drinking, I'm just going to say AC, and so you don't get flagged, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
AC. Oh,
Uh,
go to the private chat if you want to text it to me.
let's see, chat.
Yeah, private.
Uh, where the hell is the private chat? Is it under more?
I think so. It's like where you click comments and then it should say like private chat.
Got chat, comments, recording. Okay, I'll put it. I can't put it in that one. Ah, maybe here. All right. Did that work?
Yes, it did. Ah, yes. Okay, got you.
Okay, so them partaking of that certain drug, that's not a new thing either. That
Okay.
that goes back centuries of them doing, these people that, worship Satan. That's part of the ritual. So this
Mhm.
is nothing new. The only reason we're finding out about all this stuff now is because, well, like I've said before, we are in the middle. I think maybe like a little towards the end a little bit, but we're in the middle of the Great Awakening and more information's coming out. This is all information that's been hidden for decades. And why all of a sudden, that's the question people need to be asking is why all of a sudden in the last 4 or 5 years are we hearing about this stuff? Why didn't I hear
Exactly.
why didn't I hear about this stuff 15 years ago, 20 years ago? And
Maybe they
so,
suppressed it. Maybe they didn't want it to come out.
well, there were people out there that were talking about this stuff long before the digital soldiers hit and everything like that. But they were all labeled as crazy conspiracy theorists. You can't believe what this person's saying. You'll have an actor or an actress come forward about something, and the next thing you know, they wind up dead.
Okay. When you said that, two things popped into my head, and then a question popped in because
Okay.
remember when Harvey Weinstein was getting all
Yeah.
those accusations, and then he got arrested.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. He was kind of like a perp, one like the biggest perpetrators in making the celebrities do something for him, any kind of deal or favor to get into a movie or role or fame.
Yeah.
And then remember when Spacey, I forgot his first name, the
Kevin.
actor. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. When that was happening, that really gave me the creeps. I
Mhm.
was getting like, oh my goodness, is everything true? Because they did this whole thing about Spacey. And then when he went into trial, all of the witnesses ended up dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Like,
They
who does
have
that?
they growing up in the 80s, there were a lot of movie stars that we grew up with and just like up and died. Overdoses. I mean, there was a slew of them. There's a thing in Hollywood that after about age 25 or so, a lot of these folks have served their purpose and they're no good for their what's the best way to call it? I can't say movement, but they're of no use to the evildoers anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So they are either they are legitimately taken out or they've had enough and they went and turned themselves in and are under witness protection. So that's why a lot of folks in my sphere, we believe that there are some folks out there that are still alive today and giving up and helping to give up this information.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually would actually make sense because we're hearing more and more busts on human trafficking rings. We are hearing things about Diddy. Now LeBron's in the news. LeBron, he, oh my God,
Yup.
he's one of them too. Just
Yup.
wait until you hear about J-Lo.
That is gonna rock me because J Lo, no, not
J
J
Lo is
Lo.
evil. J Lo is evil.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't.
There were
Okay, so
so,
okay, hold on. Question, okay, because you see, that's what I was talking about. Blake Lively, she's doing a lawsuit about like sexual harassment, right?
right.
But if this is already a thing in Hollywood and that's rampant and it's kind of like well known that that is going on, then what makes certain cases different from them? Because isn't that supposed to be like you should know this already, you know?
There are some people in Hollywood who did not buy into the satanic stuff.
Okay.
There are some there. I'm not saying 100% of Hollywood is all satanic ritual abuse crap. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I
Okay.
would say about 85 to 90%.
Okay. Because that makes me think that if she can do it, if she's not in it and she can sue when she saw like the crimes happening on set or whatever, then why can't those people sue as well? Like if they weren't comfortable doing with something and they threaten you, and why can't you sue them? Like
Well, for one, I mean, as the time, in my personal opinion, I think the timing has been a lot better for these people to come out and sue these folks because of the exposure that it has received so far. So Blake Lively coming out and doing something like this, she's in a position where she feels safe to do so. You've got all these other people throughout history to where they have had their families held over their head. If you say anything, we're taking out your family. We know where all your family is. You will have nothing. Your little fame, that will be gone away. And, we'll probably take you out too. And if you try to do anything, we have all this blackmail that, we can use against you as well.
right. Okay.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So I know it's really difficult for people to think that, and this is what, Tony was sending me a bunch of messages today.
Yeah.
But I know it's hard for people to think that these stars, these celebrities are like this, are this evil, but it's all part of the ritual. You talked about them putting guys in dresses. Look at LeBron was in a French maid's outfit.
Yeah.
And that's part. And how many times have you seen a singer or an actor take a picture? And you can probably Google this real quick. Take a picture in a bathtub full of red water. See if you can't find that real quick. Just say actors in blood bathtub.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see.
Actors, singers in blood bathtub.
In blood bathtub?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, let me see. Images, actors. Okay, one looks like a movie. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a photo shoot. It looks like a photo shoot.
Yeah. That's part of the humiliation process. That's an act of humiliation that the evildoers are putting on these actors and everything. Katy Perry, what was that song she did, Bon Appetit, where she was technically the main course for the participants there. But Justin Bieber's song Yummy.
Yeah, that's why I don't listen to any kind of music anymore, and I don't follow none of that anymore because I woke up, like I'm not gonna consume this type of music or movies that promote that. And then like did you see the Kim Kardashian video that she put on X?
I saw that crap.
Exactly. Like, well, why? She doesn't need to do that. She's already a billionaire. She has a business. She's got kids. Like, there's no necessity to do that. So why would you put a video? And just the awkwardness, the weirdness, like the vibes were weird. And then you have all these elements of mocking Christianity, which they always do. They always mock Christianity for some reason.
I think she was forced to do that video.
Really?
I think she was forced to do that video. And because if you look at the pictures that were coming out like 2 days before that came out, she's walking around in a walking boot right now.
Yeah, and that's another theory, isn't it? That that her fingers were messed up for a while, and that was like a ritual thing that they break a finger or something, or like a fingernail.
Well, there's that. But the walking boot,
Yeah, the walking boot.
have you paid attention to that?
I mean, I saw there was like a theory of like those ankle monitors, and they would pass it on as, "Oh, I broke my foot," or like an injury. They would pass it off as an injury.
Yeah, anybody that's already been questioned by the white hat military and they are on their radar and they've basically what's the word? They've capitulated and gave their information. Yeah, that's why they're wearing walking boots. Because
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
So for folks out there listening, you can go Google actors in walking boots and
uh-huh.
you will see hundreds of them. Because
Wow.
yeah, like I said, this stuff, like Tony was sending me stuff today, and she's like, "Have you heard about this? Have you heard about that?" I'm like, "Yeah, Tony, this is stuff that I found out in 2020 and 2021."
Yup. Uh-huh. She was telling me a lot of it too, but I told her, you're aware of it now, but it's not sinking in because you're doing too much. So you have to let it sink in and process it, because then you're gonna get that anxiety of like, why nobody's doing anything about this? And if we know this, we should be doing something about it.
Ruby, and that explains to you exactly why this is taking the length of time that it's taking.
Yeah.
I know you want stuff done right away. I want stuff done right away. But literally, could you handle, and anybody listening, could you handle 100% of the truth if it was just dropped on you right now? You might think you can.
Uh-huh. I was just about to say, I mean, me maybe, but the rest of the world, I don't think so, because
I mean, when you see pictures that will turn your stomach, that goes against every human emotion. Like I said, y'all call me the Q guy. Q said if all the truth was released at one time, 98% of the population would need hospitalization.
But that's only because it's still going on. What if they already arrested them? They already executed justice. And now you know the truth, but you're wondering, okay, so what did you guys do about it? Did you do something about it? I would rather get the truth then, knowing that they did something about it. Don't tell me when you haven't done anything and then you're going to get me angry and upset, and that's going to invoke all these emotions. Do it, tell me when you're actually done something already.
I get that, but people have to get to the point to where they will accept whatever justice has been handed out.
And why would they not accept it?
Some of us are there, but there's a lot of folks that aren't. Let me think of a good example. Okay, can we agree that we believe that? Well, I know I do. I don't know about you. I believe Obama was a traitor.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so if the military went in and removed him from office in 2012, how many people in the United States or even around the world would accept that?
Right.
Now, let's say it plays out the way it has, and then we all find out about $65,000 worth of hot dogs at the White House. We find out about all the treasonous things that he's done. That's been put out. That's been published. And then let's say one day they announce, oh, hey, y'all, guess what? We already took care of Obama. Would you accept that then?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because you have all the information and you're like, yeah, I want the justice. Right. And so if they come out and say, hey, well, good news. Yes, everything we were telling you was true. So we did take care of him a few years ago. That would be more acceptable to the public than the military just going in and removing him.
Right.
So,
But
so now that child trafficking, the AC, now that that's all going mainstream, it will be easier to expose the people that's done it.
mhm.
The everyday person will see it, and then it will be easier when they come out and say, "Oh, by the way, just to let everybody know, this is what we did and this is what took place."
Mhm.
People will accept that better because they
Yeah.
want the justice.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Mhm. So then what's your, I mean, do you know anything about that Guatemalan Jewish Orthodox Jewish raid that they did?
I haven't heard about that yet.
Okay, so I'll send that to you on X later on, but basically the authorities in Guatemala raided this community and they rescued 160 children and minors that were allegedly kidnapped and were abused by the Orthodox Jews in that country. That kind of makes me think, well, what are they doing in other countries? Is that happening here? Because
Yeah.
we already know how this border is. We already know that even in New York City, a long time ago, remember when they raided the Jewish synagogue
Yep.
and they were fighting, and why are you fighting so hard? Are you hiding something? Like those were the conversation that was happening. And then you see this happening in Guatemala? Like, I mean,
It's happened worldwide. And
yeah.
that's the other thing that we have to remember, that what we're dealing with is not just in the United States. And you have to take this stuff out everywhere, because if you only take out this stuff in the United States and don't mess with everywhere else in the world, it's
Mhm.
just going to come back.
Yeah.
You got to utterly annihilate the head of this snake, for lack of better words, and its tentacles. You have to wipe it out, and that takes time because they've had hundreds of years to entrench themselves into what they've been doing.
Exactly. I don't know. Jane also mentions about the man in Germany who drove his car. I mean, that's basically a terrorist.
Yeah,
You're doing that.
I did hear that.
Yeah. I mean, same thing in the New York City subway when he lit that woman on fire. That's terrorism, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah,
but then you see how weird it is. It's like, why do these things happen now during the time where we're waiting for a new administration to come in? That's number one. Number two, how ironic it was that Kathy Hochul, I think her name is, the governor of New York.
yeah,
She posted pictures of herself like, oh, the subway is so safe. And then that that was the same like literal day that the fire happened. So it kind
yeah.
of exposes her.
And this is after the Daniel Penny case.
Yep, it's after Daniel. And I mean, this is exactly what you guys want, because you arrested a good guy and now nobody wants to intervene because they saw what happened to Daniel.
That's exactly what we said on that live stream. That's what we talked about. That good people will do nothing now to help others there, because they're afraid of they're going to be afraid that they'll be in court.
And yeah, and they would be. So everybody doesn't want to even touch the person because they don't want to be liable. If that person dies, they're gonna say, I killed the person. You know, like you don't even know what's gonna happen.
So that just goes against, if you want to put biblical stuff in there, that just goes against everybody trying to be a Samaritan and helping out your fellow man.
It stops you from that in New York
Yeah.
City, at least. You're
Yeah.
not even gonna think twice. You're gonna keep walking because you don't want the trouble.
Yep.
And that's sad. Like, I mean, back in the day, I remember when we were in New York City and we had that fear of the subways because everybody knew it was dangerous. Like that was a given. You're either gonna get stabbed, robbed, raped. Like bad things happen in the city. You don't go out at night, right? It's like Gotham City over there. But if you saw a crazy homeless or somebody on drugs or whatever, there was like unspoken unofficial rules of like leave them alone, just keep walking. As
Mhm.
long as you interact, nobody bothers you, don't bother other people, just get to where you need to go and that's it.
Yeah.
But if the problem claimed to you, there were people who would stand up and defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're New Yorkers, we don't care, we will stomp you out as well, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But now I kind of feel like everybody is just like weak. They're weak now. It depends on where you are in the city, but like in Manhattan, oh no, very like a weakness, and I've never felt like that before. Like I don't know,
How
like
how many times have we seen videos of fights breaking out at schools, breaking out at convenience stores and in parking lots? And what's the first thing people want to do? They want to just grab their phone and get it on record
that too.
instead,
Yep.
instead of going and helping diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
They just a lot of them, they just want to see the entertainment.
Yeah, that's
And that's
basically
sad.
what it
And
is.
that's sad.
And you know that there was a case like that in Florida, that there was this person drowning, and instead of helping, it was like these three teenagers were recording. I don't know if you know that story, but that's what happened in Florida, right? And then when they went to like investigate, they were trying to charge the people who were recording for not intervening, like not helping the person, because the person ultimately died. So they were trying to make it seem like, well, it's their fault because they didn't help. But you see, in Florida, that case died quickly because they are not obligated to help. They're not police. They're not law enforcement. They're not certified or whatever. They were just some
Right.
passerbyers. So you see, it's like you have both of those types of cases, and it's like, what would you do? That like, who knows? Because it's like on one hand, you're not obligated to. Is the police obligated to help you? In Texas, they said no.
Yeah.
In Uvidale, they weren't even obligated to help the kids. So it's like every man for himself right now. If you don't defend yourself, don't even bother calling, because who knows if they're gonna help you.
From what I understand, and I could be wrong, I'll look it back up again, but the police, all they are supposed to do is enforce the law.
Yeah,
They're not obligated to save your life.
exactly. That's what I was getting at. It's like even that was woke me up, because I used to believe like, oh, the police are here to help me. They're supposed to help me. And it's like, no, they are for the interest of the law.
Yeah. Now, if they're in a situation, I mean, we've seen it tons of times where, cops have saved people's lives. There is that because of the situation that they're in. But technically, they're not held accountable to save your life. That's why we have the Second Amendment.
Exactly. And we are supposed to be defending ourselves. Every American is supposed to have a weapon. Because
Yeah.
if you don't have one, you could die, or you will die because you can't even defend yourself.
Yeah. So all these people, all these liberals, oh, the police are supposed to protect us. They're supposed to save us. No, they're not the damn superheroes. It is your personal responsibility to protect and defend yourself.
Yeah.
And with freedom, there are responsibilities and there are risks to being free. Freedom's not cheap. Freedom's not easy. And too many people out there want free and easy. That's not the way this life works.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I said about Nick Fuentes. He can say whatever he wants to say, but be
Yes, dude.
prepared when they start doxing you, they start stalking you and harassing you. They're gonna they're gonna come. It's inevitable. They're going to come for you because that's how much they hate you. But you have the freedom and the right to have your own opinions. Just be prepared. And I feel bad because, I mean, that's scary. I mean, I don't know if you saw the clip of his like the Ring camera, But it's like, what would you do if somebody's at your door with a pistol, an assault rifle, and a crossbow, calling out your name because they hate you so much about what your political ideology is, and they want to kill you for it? You know, like nobody
Yeah,
deserves that. That's scary.
it is. We're definitely living in a scary world, and that's why change has to be. That's why change needs to take place, and it is taking place. It's just not going as fast as some people want it to go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
it's and going back to yeah, it goes all the way back to the inception. I mean, yeah, they've been doing this stuff for a long time. I mean,
Um,
and you can have proof of that because this is what they did in Germany in the 1920s. Look at the debauchery that was introduced to Germany in 1920 and throughout the
mhm,
20s. Look up the Weimar Republic, Weimer, the Weimar Republic.
mhm.
And that was one of the things. I mean, pornography in the movies, pornography on the street, prostitution on the streets, um, transgenderism, even back then, they were promoting that. And that was all perpetrated by, I'm going to say it, the fake Jews, not the real Jews.
Mhm.
The Bolshevik Jews, the Zionists, those folks are the one that introduced that stuff to Germany. And then
Yep.
who does most of the backing of Hollywood? Oh man, imagine it's the same people that did the backing of Weimar Republic in Germany. Same
Yeah.
people.
Exactly. So I don't know how to get rid of that, but we have to do some sort of cleansing. Like it has to be a culture. It's also cultural. Like I think they've normalized it way too much.
Yep.
That now it's normal for women to be dressing the way that they dress or acting and talking in ways that they do. So it's like there has to be like a whole culture shift for things to change so that we can reject the ideology, not
Mhm.
necessarily like, you know, kill all of them, but you have to kill the ideology because it
Yep.
won't work. Whenever you see it, you will identify it and reject it right there and then.
And you can tell that that's starting to take place because look at all the corporations that are now turning their backs on DEI.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of it. And I have noticed that there's been a couple of words that have been, not so nice words, but we always said it in the 80s and the 90s. But I'm seeing a comeback in some of these words that have been used. Uh,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
that's interesting to me. That's
no,
interesting to
that's
me.
just so no, that I know those words. It's so stupid to me because in the real world, those words never left. In the streets, those words never left. On the internet, it never really left, but people would get banned or if they were reported. But ever since Elon changed it, now it's allowed on X. But it's like that part of our culture never really left. It was like kind of silenced, but it didn't leave.
Right. And just for the record, me personally, I'm not talking about the N word.
Mhm.
Um, retarded. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I say it all the time, and I'm like, I've never stopped saying it. Like and that's how I'm like so angry when other people like self censor themselves because of
Yeah.
wherever you are. I'm like, this is how I talk. This is how I sound. If you don't like it, oh well. This is the pitch of my voice. This is the accent that I have. Oh well.
Yep.
Like so what? That's not a bad word. Like
Yeah. It's all retarded.
it is.
But
Like
I'm seeing a comeback of people actually speaking their minds like
yeah.
they did in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. I mean, if Richard Pryor, Archie Bunker, Eddie Murphy, did I say Richard Pryor? Yeah, Rich Pryor, and a few other comedians. Um,
Mhm.
if they would give their shows that they did back then, if they would have did their shows now, oh God, the woke mob would have canceled them.
Yep.
So that it's yeah. We need to get back to comedy being funny. We need to get back to people, being able to speak freely, not self-censor themselves. But again, keep in mind to be respectful to people, that's
Mhm.
fine. You can do that. But not be just whiny babies all the time over something.
Yeah, I never got that. And now when we had our kids, we would kind of like roast them, like joke on them a lot to build that tough skin, because I'm not going to be raising three people adults who are going to be offended if you say something to them. They're going to be the ones to give you a comeback. Like that's how you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to just roll over and cry every single time somebody tells you something.
Yeah. I saw a video the other day. This girl is using the word faggot.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
they
know.
say it all the time.
I don't know if you saw that, but I sent it to John and I said, dude, I laughed way too hard at this video. And he
Yeah.
goes, oh, it was her emphasis on the word that was killing me. It's funny.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
think I follow her on X. Her name is Melanie Mack. She does videos like that all the time, and I follow her because of that. Like they say all the words.
It was hilarious. I was dying. I was dying.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if you'd want to play that clip or not. It's funny though.
I'm still on probation, and I don't know how YouTube is with that. But if anybody's on X, start following us, and then we'll add you to
The
to like
big
a group chat or something.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll add you to a group chat.
yeah, over on X, everybody, we do have a thread there, a group chat called The Big Picture on X. And that's where I've opened it up for people to put whatever they want. If they find something, put it out there. And it's a pretty cool little group. There's like 33 of us in there, but
Yep.
there's a lot of stuff that gets posted in there.
Oh
So,
yeah, in the future we have to do an episode about the videos I sent you about those Egyptian stuff that we talked about last time.
yeah,
There was the giant conversation, the Smithsonian
yeah,
conversation. That we have to show the clips here
yeah,
and then talk about it. We got to do that. That
yeah,
was really crazy to me. What was the other one? Oh, I think was it you who sent me about the Ethiopian Bible? Did you send me that?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that right there, we gotta watch that with King Tony. So after the whole holiday season, when everybody's back home and everything's back to normal, because I know everybody's probably celebrating right now,
Yeah.
we gotta do one about that, about that Bible, the history of all of it. I've watched everything and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, and we also have to do a movie review like the one we did together for V for Vendetta. We
Right.
got to do that for the movie They Live, because King Tony said she saw it already. So I got to see it. Whoever else wants to chime in on that episode, watch that movie now and then I'll make a show for it. We got to talk about that.
See, the thing is that movie came out in the 80s. So
Yup.
this stuff has been out there.
Yeah.
It's just we've been distracted by one story after another from the real stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they do. I mean, look, last week we were talking about drones. This week we're talking about a woman on fire in the subway.
Exactly.
That wasn't on our bingo card last week.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, I mean, thank you for bringing it up again, because I didn't go hardcore as I was trying to do when I thought about bringing that story up. Was we are not used to that. We would never expect something like that to happen in America.
Right.
We are not savages. Okay? We are a civilized nation ahead of a lot of other civilized nations. But we are like the most civilized, in my opinion, because there's just so much freedom here. We do whatever we want, say whatever we want. Americans have a different level of I don't give a crap, I'm an American type of vibe, okay?
Right.
We would never do that in the United States of America. You only see this coming out of from people that come from other lower savage countries, okay? Because I don't know if that is like normal in South America or anywhere else in the world, but that is just savage, in my opinion.
But here's the thing. It's not just those people from other nations, like Guatemala. It's not just that. It's the people at the top who don't like America that are actual Americans.
Right.
There are people that do not want our Constitution. They want that new world order. They want that power and control. And they've been told, hey, we're going to get you that power and control as long as you push our agenda and do what we need you to do. If that means releasing people off of death row, if that means bringing in, quote, savages, as you say, into the nation to destabilize it. They don't care. They don't like what we have here in America. That's why they need to freaking go.
Yeah.
And that's why we're in the middle of the operation we're in.
But you see, this is why I'm against immigration, like 100%. I don't care if it's legal or illegal. Is that how can you coexist? Or even if they do assimilate, it's just not the same because you were not born here. You didn't grow up with the same values we did. You don't have that.
I'll push back on that a little bit only because, okay, one, illegal immigration, 100% totally against it. Yeah. Having anchor babies, totally against that.
Yep, agreed.
Okay. Now, I will agree with legal. I am cool with legal immigration. But to be able to do legal immigration, the people coming over need to be vetted 100%. What do you have to offer to make this country better?
Yeah, but if you're not a scientist or a doctor or have some type of cure you want to patent over here and heal people, then that's probably the only instance where I would be like, okay, somebody like an Elon. Okay, you weren't born here, but you want to come over here. You want to, help the, like you said, the society, America. Okay, I'll take an Elon Musk for legal immigration.
Yeah, see, I honestly, I don't have a problem with doing it legally because it takes a long time to become a legal citizen. And there's got to be benchmarks. I mean, there needs to be things that these folks need to learn. One, you need to learn how to freaking speak English. I should never have. I mean, yeah. Seriously.
It's true, yeah.
I mean, if I went to Russia or if I went to China and became an immigrant there, am I going to be allowed just to speak English and not, learn their language? I mean, that's stupid.
Yeah,
I think that.
But okay, Jimmy, let me give you an example. There's people that have been here for 20 plus years, like my father-in-law, who's Dominican, but he got married to an American woman, and 20 plus years he got his citizenship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he even to this day he can barely speak English without either pivoting to Spanish or going, like your brain sometimes just goes in Spanish because that's your native tongue. I get it. I understand it. But there's people who still have an issue with that.
Yeah, that would be if I were president and I was in charge of legal immigration, learning the English language to at least be able to conduct a job, be able to go to a job interview, be able to go to the freaking health department and be able to answer questions about your own health. Where my wife works, do you know they have 6 interpreters at the Department of Health?
Yes.
6.
Yes.
They have 6.
Yeah.
Because most of the people coming into the health department in this county are illegals and folks that cannot speak the language. I'm
Then
sorry.
then you're not qualified. You're not eligible to get benefits or whatever or help.
Oh no. They get it
I know, but
at the
that's
health
why I'm
department.
so against it because I'm like, and aside from that opinion, I also kind of like say to myself like, how unfair is that? Like how unloving it is to let these people come over here and they don't know the culture, they don't know the language, they don't know anything or even how to get a job because they just don't know. They came illegally and they thought it was okay because they were let in as if it was okay. How unloving it is to that person, the confusion, the anxiety, because they're human. I get that they're human too, they're mothers and fathers too,
Yep.
but that's the also the problem. You're letting them come as if it's okay and it's not.
Yep. Yep. It's all part. I mean, I look at it this way: all the illegal immigration stuff is just. I look at them as being foot soldiers for the deep state agenda.
Yeah, it's to cause confusion, it's to cause chaos.
And
Because if we didn't have any of that, we can actually be America first. And we can't because we have to continue dealing with an issue that should have already been dealt with.
and you gotta go back and look at who is paying for all this stuff too. I mean, you look at some of the pictures of the migrant caravans, and okay, I'm gonna say this, and it might ruffle some feathers, but they say that this dude or this lady that weighs well above their weight walked 8,000 miles, or ever how many freaking miles it was. But they got brand new clothes, new shoes, nice backpacks. Nothing looks dirty. I'm sorry if I walked like 4,000 miles to get to. I'm going to be. I'm not going to be
Bad shape.
looking. I'm not going to be looking in the best shape.
Exactly. But it's like, no, and that's another thing. Like
It's all
James
being
says,
funded.
but they're coming over here because for a better life. The U.S. needs to go over there and help them. I would say no. I disagree with that. It's the responsibility of their own country leaders to make programs for them and to help those people so that they don't have the need to leave. So
Exactly.
you gotta make your country great again.
Yeah, it's not the United States' responsibility to be the policeman of the world or the caregiver of the world.
Right.
You
Agreed.
tell me what other country on this planet is sending thousands of dollars into America to help out our homeless people.
No, none.
It doesn't happen. Tell me one country, one, where their tax dollars come to America to help out Americans.
Yep.
But yet we send millions and trillions of dollars to multiple countries every year. How is that fair?
Yeah, exactly. And you see, this is why I say like I agree with 90% of what Nick Fuentes says, because that's what he says on his show, but he says it 10 times worse than we do because he goes, full blown. He's not restricted like we are. But that's why I agree with
I'm
him.
trying to be good because it's your channel.
Exactly. And I'm trying to be good because I'm on probation too, myself. So but this is why I appreciate people like Nick Fuentes, because even though the delivery could be bad or whatever, and I know that majority of people are going to disagree with that, but for somebody like you or me, we kind of agree more with that than what we're seeing happening today. Because I could go even further. Like I say, I want zero immigration. I want isolationist type policies. I want America first so badly that I don't even want to look outside of these borders ever again, because that's how bad I feel as if America fell from when I was a little girl. So imagine, you guys are way older than me, and you probably couldn't say the same thing, or not even worse for you guys, because those days are long gone.
Mhm.
And if I feel like that, you guys must feel like that.
Oh my
So
God, yeah.
I'm like, no. We need some radical change, radical change.
Yeah, and that's what Trump's talked about, all through his campaign. Ever since he came down the escalator, he's been talking about America first, but they want to spin that and make it into a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with making your country great or worrying about your country first. It's like How many examples? If your house is on fire, how's that example go? Um, you know, we'll scratch that. But I got to take care of my crap here first before I can help my neighbors.
Yeah.
If my house is on fire and their house is on fire, sorry, I got to put the fire out of my house first. Not that I don't love you or care about you or anything, but we both got a fire going on here. I need to take care of mine first.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with? Tell me how many people. I'm just curious. If your house is on fire and your neighbor's house on fire, whose house are you going to save first?
Yeah, you're on my own. Always. Like, that's not a question. It's always
But
that.
when it comes to our country and saving America or saving Ukraine, why do they all want to save Ukraine?
Exactly. That
I can
doesn't make
guarantee you they probably can't even name 4 cities in Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just drives me crazy when people, oh, we got to take care of this country. We got to take care of that. No, the fuck we don't.
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
And it's like, well, what are those leaders doing? Are they taking care of their people? Are they making their countries great? Like, I always wonder, well, if they're always coming over here for a better life, then how is it over there? Because if it's bad here and they say it's worse over there, then how much worse can it get? Like in my head, I'm like, it can't get any. Can it get any worse than this? Like, I don't know. That's
Here's something I talked about the other day, and my son-in-law, we had dinner, did Christmas Eve and everything earlier today, but my son-in-law was over there, and he was talking to me about one of his best friends, and his best friend is from Syria.
mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this guy he's a chemist, and he cannot go back to Syria because if he does, they will put him in jail. Because he was asked that if he could be part of making bombs. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. And so he left Syria, came to the United States. It's been here 25, 30 years ago. But he mentioned something that I thought was interesting. They were talking about the pedos. They have zero tolerance for pedos over there. They said they will take them out. And it's not even done by law enforcement. The community takes them out. You can go and you can find videos of pedos being strapped to a light pole or something over in the Middle East. And just the community is serving community justice. Now, you might think that's barbaric and, oh, that's not right. But you know what? It's a pretty savvy system because think about it. In America, you got these people that do stuff like this. They go to jail, or you got the murderers who live, they're on death row, but they go to jail for 20, 30 years. Who the hell is paying for their upkeep while they're in jail?
Yeah, the taxpayers.
The taxpayers.
Yeah.
Why is our money going to a jail system to take care of this guy's 3 meals a day, whatever? That's why when the pedos go to prison, they don't last long.
Yeah.
Because the prison serves up some community justice.
Exactly. And if, like I was saying before, if it was a perfect world, perfect government, we would have executions as soon as they're proven to be guilty and they are deserving of that.
Yes.
We would give the death penalty to every capital crime. But I mean, like today, like right now.
Yeah. Me and my wife were talking about that. It was last night because we were talking about, Biden commuting 37 sentences, death row sentences, and the things that some of these 37 people did was horrific. We were talking about, and I was like, look, if somebody has been proven without a shadow of a doubt that they committed this heinous crime,
Mhm.
Why do we have to pay for them to be in life in prison?
Exactly.
Take them out now
Exactly.
and save thousands of dollars, millions of dollars.
Exactly. And
And
I am for that.
and Ruby, I know there's people out there that'll probably be like, "Oh, that's just evil and cruel." And blah. All right, so this man, hypothetically speaking, he just killed 6 of his grandkids in the house. Everybody knows he did it.
Right.
Why he should be taken out back and done away with right then and there.
Exactly. Quick.
You know, Trump did say, and he talked to Xi about the drug problem, and Xi says we have no drug problem. Trump says, well, how do you take care of it? He said, quick trial,
Yeah.
quick trial. So yeah, we've gotten too weak here in America.
I mean, not even that. It's the way our republic or democracy is set up is because they say yeah swift and thing to trial, but do they ever get swift trials? No. Um, how easier it would be if we did do that and they were proven guilty, and you would give the maximum, like I said, capital death penalties, and you do this quickly. Why does it take so long? Like the justice system takes so long in America.
Okay, so you can't get justice from a system that is corrupt too.
There you go. That's what it is. That's what it is.
You know, our justice system is corrupt as crap. Everybody has seen it in the last 2 years. We have seen the 2-tiered justice system. How do you expect to get a fair anything with a corrupt justice system? That's why it has
Right.
to be cleaned out too.
There you go. Yup. That's exactly what's happening.
Because
Yep.
these judges are paid off. These prosecutors are Soros, a lot of them are George Soros backed prosecutors. No
Mhm.
bail, no bail. Really? I just killed a guy. I can go and get no bail. Oh man, I might just go out and do it again.
Yep.
That's what these people are doing. And that's what the deep state agenda is. They want to create chaos in the streets. They want to get the people feeling anxious and afraid for their lives and everything. So you got to clean out the justice system too.
Yeah, that's gonna take a lot of time. I think
Well,
somebody had a question here for you.
uh-oh.
Jane says, Jimmy, what do you think about 47 getting control of Greenland? And I saw that they were making a lot of jokes about Greenland and 2 other countries. What was it that Trump was talking about?
The Panama Canal in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I
All right.
mean,
So this is something. Whenever I laugh like this, you guys know something's up.
yeah.
This is something that I've heard for a while now, about the Republic of the United States expanding. This
Right.
isn't new information to me. It's just, I can see it starting to play out because y'all talked about this stuff before. Because we are not going to be under the corporation of the United States and we're becoming the Republic of the United States, that is going to allow us to be able to expand the Republic. And once people find out that the British Crown and all that was corrupted and they were technically not the legal owners of Canada, who was? So there's a play for Canada. I have heard, and I cannot verify it 100%, but this is stuff we've talked about before, that there's going to be at least 10 more states added. And it could be Canada, Greenland, Australia, New Zealand, and a couple of the.
Hell no.
Yes.
No way.
That's yeah. It's going to go back to 7 kingdoms there's going to be 7 kingdoms around this world, and we would belong to the Republic of the North American, Republic of the United States, and there'll be
Oh
and
no.
there'd be 60 states because we're subsidizing Canada right now. Like Trump said, why not make them a state? Might as well.
Well, I understand Canada because they are right above us, so that makes sense.
And
Yeah.
possibly, I don't know how this one would work, but I've heard Mexico's in that list too. I don't know how that one's going to work. But the Panama Canal situation, yeah, we should have that. That should be back under U.S. control, 100%. Because we were the ones that put up the money, the blood, sweat, and tears, lives to get that thing built. And Jimmy Carter went behind and sold it to Panama under some restrictions that Panama couldn't do certain things, but now Panama's doing certain things. So they're violating that contract. So yes, I think we should have control over the Panama Canal again. Because they're charging, I heard it the other, for a ship to go through the Panama Canal, the fee is $400,000.
Wow.
But Panama has been charging upwards to $900,000, $1.4 million. So they're extorting us and other nations. And China is getting their little fingers into the Panama Canal situation as well. So yes, it's in our national security interest to have control over the Panama Canal.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't think we should be adding any more states to the union. I mean, I think we should.
Why?
I don't know. I kind of feel like we should just. I mean, in my opinion, we barely got our own country under control. Culturally, and with the whole border situation, we barely are hanging by a thread, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, in this current situation, yeah, but
Yeah,
you
so
get
I'm
rid,
like,
you get rid of that, and we'll become more united.
okay, become more united, and then do what? Purchase these countries. I mean, that's weird.
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm not in that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see that happen. That would be interesting. I'm not against it.
Okay, so in theory, if that were to happen, what does that mean? Does that mean that they have to adopt our constitution and that they would be known as Americans?
Yes.
Yeah, you see that kind of, to me, that nah.
Well,
Nah.
hey. Well, I know it sounds crazy. But do I ever say anything that doesn't sound crazy?
Exactly. Everything that you have ever told me since the day I met you is just crazy. And it keeps getting crazier and crazier. But okay.
But how wrong have I been, Ruby?
I wouldn't say wrong. I would just say how open you've been. How open.
Well, you weren't with me in 2020 and 2021 when I was saying stuff that
right.
I was like, yeah, that shit came true, y'all.
Right. Certain things came true, like the J6 stuff that recently came out, and that stuff shocked me. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
it became true when they were calling us conspiracy theories.
I called every bit of CV, every bit of it.
But you see, with when it comes to like purchasing other countries, it kind of makes me feel as if my birthright as an American can just be bought. And that's
how someone. Yeah, I don't know what the rules, I don't know how that would all play out by annexing another country. But the United States went in and they basically took over the control of Hawaii from the Kingdom of Hawaii. They basically went in there and took that over. No question.
But I mean, that's on our side of the world. I mean, Australia, New Zealand, all of them, that's pretty far away. Like,
but here's also the other thing. There's a lot of people in other countries that love our Constitution, and they would love to have a Constitution like we have in their own country.
I agree. I believe that, but make your country great. Don't Don't act as if you can just adopt this and now you're American and you can play it. No,
Yeah,
like this
I
is
don't know.
born with
I don't know how you could call somebody from Australia an American, but you could call them Australian American. We do it all the time with everybody else.
I don't even do that. Like
You know,
I don't say African American, Asian American. I don't even do that. And I never did those word games. Like I've never done that. You're just, if you were born here and you are generationally American, you're American.
right?
I don't say African American or any other American. I don't put the dash American. No, you're just
Yeah,
American. If you came to this country like my father-in-law that I just described, I don't even know if I wouldn't even call him an American. On paper, you're an American, but you're not American. You're
right,
from Dominican Republic, and that's where you belong. But you came to this country legally. I understand you did the right thing and you got married and you got it through that. But in reality, you're not from here and you were not born here. You no, you belong in Dominican Republic. Even in my own situation, like my father was born in Puerto Rico and my grandmother was born in Puerto Rico. So I just have my mother and me. So I'm second generation American.
right.
And some people even say, well, even that's not American. But I mean, I would even consider myself American because we were born here. At least I'm second generation, but like that that Americanism was already born with me. Those
Right.
morals, those values, it was already born in with me. I didn't go to Puerto Rico every summer like my parents. I didn't speak Spanish. I don't cook Spanish. That culture kind of died with me because
Right.
I was Americanized. So there is a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
can't just adopt this Americanism. You're born with it.
I will say that there's some people that, I mean, I've seen some videos of people that, came from other countries and they've completely disavowed the country that they came from and they just went all red, white, and
Right.
blue.
And those are the real ones. Those are the only ones that I can actually respect.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I'm sorry, but I can't respect it. I mean, I would look at you like, yeah, you call yourself an American, but you're not one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're just, just like how those men and women they dress themselves as the opposite sex and they call themselves the opposite sex, but you're not the opposite sex. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I do not affirm that. So
Oh, yeah.
that's exactly how I would feel when it comes to immigration, or if America did buy those places and they start calling themselves American. Nah, you're not.
Yeah. It would be interesting. I don't know how that would play out, but as far as that part's concerned, but it would be a very interesting move. And this, like I said, this is not something that is new to me. The thought of this happening, it just, I knew about this stuff in 2020 and 2021, but this is the first time since then that I've seen some movement around this subject about us acquiring or adding to the states. I don't know how it's going to play out. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through these comments and then we can give our final thoughts.
Okay.
So somebody said here, oh, Jane says, but status on applications and census, they look at all races, must mark it.
That,
I mean, I know, but if you put down your race, it should just say white, black, Hispanic. That's it. You know what I mean? Like those are the three major races. I don't know. Are there any other races or Native American? Probably. I mean, I know that Jews consider themselves their own race. So there's only like three or four that are actual races. I wouldn't actually say African American, Hispanic American, Asian American. Like I wouldn't do that. I would just put the three main the three main races.
yeah, I know what she's referring. There's just some government documentation and stuff that has to be filled out that they do ask for that. Think about in the news when they report an African American or a Hispanic American, they use it on the news too. So I see where you're coming from. I do. I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way. So
Yeah, nah, I don't. I think that's almost like it kind of gives me cult vibes when they change terminology, because back in the day they were just called blacks or
you know,
Negro or whatever. It's
I would never look at you and be like, oh, you're a Puerto Rican American.
right, exactly. I'm just American.
You're American.
Like you don't need to put something ahead of that. You're just American. Okay. JG says, Jimmy, I was hoping that Biden would pardon Leonard Peltier, the Native American that has been incarcerated for so long. Do you know about that? I
I
don't think I know.
do not know about that person. I'll screenshot the name and look it up.
Okay.
Let me go ahead.
Leonard Peltier.
Jimmy, okay. Let me screenshot that.
Smile.
All right, I screenshotted that name so I can look it up later. Just look into that.
Okay. All right. Jane says, have you heard now all state driver's license gotta have a star on the right side of it?
Yeah, I think mine already has that.
Mine does too.
I think mine already has it.
Jane Jane says, anchor babies still count? No, they don't. They do not count. That should be illegal.
Actually, there has been 2 incidences this week. A Chinese gentleman in California, and oh my God, where was the other one at? I want to say Louisiana. I don't think that's right, but there was another state where they have busted up a ring of what they call it, birth tourism. Look it up. Chinese man. Yeah, see if you can find it real quick. Chinese man busted for birth tourism.
Chinese man for baby tourism?
Birth tourism.
Oh, birth tourism. Okay, hold on. Birth. A California man was sentenced to more than 3 years in prison for operating a birth tourism scheme where affluent pregnant Chinese women paid thousands of dollars to travel to the U.S. to give birth and obtain birthright U.S. citizenship for their children.
And then once they got that, they went back to China.
Okay.
And when the kid gets 18 or whatever, then they're allowed to come back to the United States. It's a long game they play. But then the kid comes back to the United States and it's considered a United States citizen. So then that's how they do it. We should get rid of anchor babies. A woman can be in Mexico, 10 feet in Mexico, ready to give birth. They'll want to jump over the line just so that they can have the baby in the United States so the baby can get citizenship.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
I don't agree with that at one bit. Don't agree with that one bit.
Esty says some countries allow dual citizenship.
Yeah. Here's a kicker.
Yeah.
Go look and see how many of your congressmen and your senators have dual citizenship in Israel.
Yeah, and that should be illegal. Yeah. Okay, I understand dual citizenship for regular average people.
Yeah.
But you should not have dual citizenship in any type of office that you salute this flag. You pledge allegiance to this flag and this country.
Yeah.
You should not have dual citizenship. You should give the one up that you're not running for, because you're not in Israel, you're not in any other country, you're here. So
see, my brother Jacob, he's got dual citizenship because when we were shipped to Japan in 1985, my brother was born in Tokyo. He was born on the airbase in Japan.
There you go.
So my brother, he has Japanese citizenship.
Yeah.
Now looking back on it now, okay, it's kind of cool, but should he really have dual citizenship? I mean, he was born on an American base. You know,
but if he was born on an American base, is that not considered American soil?
Yeah, it's considered American soil. Yes.
So then he should just be American. Why does he need
I agree with that personally, But the way the law is, he has dual citizenship in Japan.
That's so weird though, because
Yeah.
if it's American soil and basically like a little sovereignty of America right there,
Yeah.
then they should not have to abide by the laws outside of those walls. It should be only American
It
laws.
depends on whatever contract they set up to allow, whatever contract Japan and the United States set up to have bases there. We don't know. We don't know what
Okay.
you don't know what some of the, hey, we can put the here, but yeah, you get dual citizenship. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay.
But I do agree that if you're going to be running for office, you need to be just American. You don't need to have dual citizenship in Israel. You don't need to have dual citizenship in China, because like you said, it would be way too easy to corrupt those individuals to go against America's agenda.
John Marciano says, LOL, Obama is a citizen of Israel.
He's Kenyan.
That's another thing.
He's Kenyan.
How the hell he became president? Honestly, like I don't
Manchurian
believe.
candidate. He was groomed to be that way.
Nah, chill.
Dude, I'm the 100%.
Yeah, but like
100%. He was groomed to do that. And he's got connections to Bush.
yeah.
You go back and you dig on the Obama story, and then you wonder why his high school records have been sealed, his college records have been sealed, his law records have been sealed. Everything that the man has done, his records have been sealed. Why? He was a Manchurian candidate. He was groomed to take that position.
But how can that be allowed, right? Like is it that flimsy? Are the qualifications that flimsy?
What, to be president?
Yeah.
No, the qualifications aren't that flimsy. It's just these people have, like I said before on this, you got to think beyond the evilness. These people are evil and will do anything. Me and you, we are rational people. Okay.
yeah.
We are dealing with irrational lunatics, and they will do whatever it takes to push their agenda or get what they wanted. They've killed millions of people through their wars. Me and you wouldn't start a war to kill a bunch of people. We're dealing with evil psychopaths. So we got to take, and that's one thing I said before when I was, started getting into the movement and everything. People have really got to, it's hard to think about it, but the level of evil that we're dealing with is off the freaking charts.
But if it's, okay, I agree with you, right? But if it's so easy, or maybe it's not easy, but how can they reach every qualification, groom the person, have the bloodline connections? Like, how does everything fall into place as if they concoct him out of a lab and produced a perfect candidate? How does it still bypass all of those qualifications? Like, you got to be born in the US. Was he born in the United States? You have to live in the United States for more than 14 years. Did he do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, those qualifications should have.
I agree, but they can make us stuff up and produce things and make it look like it's real. Like, oh, he had a real birth certificate. No, the fuck. Why did the only person that had the real birth certificate die on an airplane accident in Hawaii?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. The lady that had the real one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look it up. It's out there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, when it comes to Congress and all that, they don't care about our Constitution. They can be easily bought off. So they'll just go again. I mean, look, there should technically be 0 laws on guns. How many laws are there on guns? Right.
That's what I said last time. I said there.
So these people are not upholding our Constitution.
Yeah.
And they've been getting braver and braver as the decades have gone on. Now,
Yeah.
could you have pulled off this stuff back in 1810, 1820? Probably not.
Mm.
But they've dumbed the American people down, and the American people don't pay attention to what's going on in government, so they'll pass whatever the hell they want to pass.
Mm.
That's how we got the freaking Federal Reserve. They passed it on Christmas night in 1913. How many
Oh,
people were paying attention to that? Nobody.
exactly. Everybody's celebrating, distracted. Once again, distracted.
So
Dang,
I mean,
man.
and you got to look at the way they push it. Oh, this will be the first black president of the United States. And they just went on and on and on with that. And that way people wouldn't look into his past and where he actually came from. Now, there were quite a few people that were sounding the alarm in 2007. And
Yes.
I'm not a fan. I question Sean Hannity. I question him sometimes.
Mhm.
But I'll have to give him this. In 2007, he was nailing the history of Barack Obama.
Yeah, I remember that actually. That's
Nailing
when
it.
my uncle was like you. He would tell us stuff like that and he would try to prove it to us and he wouldn't let us leave the living room until we understood that he was illegitimate or that he was not American or that somebody in Hollywood was a tranny. Like he would
Yep.
he would do that to us and I was like, what does it matter? Like I was one of those people. What does it matter? Like so what? They're going to do whatever they want anyways. What are we going to do as if we have any power?
And where has that, and we're all guilty of that, but where has that attitude got us as an American people?
Exactly. Nowhere.
So people want to bitch and complain about what's going on in America, but what are you doing to help change it?
Exactly.
Are you one of those people that are like, it's the government, no matter what I do, we can't change anything?
Yeah.
That's been the problem. And that's where we've tried to, get people to speak out, teach people, how to
Right.
do it, what to do. So you got to get your own country back. You got to be part of it.
Exactly. And that's why we do what we do here. Because now
That's
I
it.
believe that. Now I
Yeah.
believe that. Before I didn't, and it got you nowhere. It got you behind rather than
Hmm.
moving forward. While everybody else can come to this country and they're from every other country in the world and they own businesses, you don't. They have brand new cars, you don't. They got their kids going to Ivy League colleges, you don't.
It pisses me off when I go to the grocery store and I
Mm-hmm.
see certain people with their buggies just slam packed full of crap and junk. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to go in there and get something for dinner tonight for me and my wife. But they've got $300, $400, $500 worth of groceries. And just knowing that they don't make that kind of money, somebody's paying for that.
Exactly.
I'm paying for that. When girls go into the health department and they want an Nexplanon put in, or what,
Mm-hmm.
these things, all these different things for birth control. Those devices are not cheap. They're like $1,400 a device. And a girl will come in there and say, I just got this put in 3 months ago, but I changed my mind and I want to get it taken out because now I want to start having kids.
Uh-huh.
And they think nothing of that because it's not costing them a dime.
Anything. Right, exactly. That's why
And
you can't give nothing for free.
here my wife
Socialism doesn't work.
and my wife comes home and she tells me all these things and she's like, Jimmy, it's unreal. These people don't care because they know it's not costing them anything, but it's costing
Right.
the taxpayers thousands of dollars. The American citizens should be a lot better, or should be more well off than what we are right now. Because you think about all the money that goes out to all these
Right.
unnecessary um,
Services.
services, goes to other countries, which gets funneled back into the pockets of the politicians. They
Right.
are robbing us, people.
Right. But that you see that's what they did. Instead of it going to your pocket, it goes through the middleman government and then you have to apply for the benefits when you could have just gotten that money through your income, through getting paid, through
Yeah, well,
earning.
it's like I pay county taxes, right? I pay county taxes. That tax money, some of it stays in the county, of course, but a lot of it goes to Washington, D.C.
Right.
And if that county wants a new hospital built, then they have to go file the applications through the federal government and say, hey, can we get some money here? Where
Mhm.
cut the government out, let the county
Right.
keep the money. And if the
Right.
county wants to build a new hospital, let the county do it.
Yeah, let them decide what to do. Yeah.
That's the way it should be. But
Yeah.
again, the Federal Reserve, that banking system, they want the control. They want to be able
Mhm.
to say, no, Guilford County, we don't think you need a hospital there, so we're going to keep your money.
No, yeah. And all of these social services, how did America function before that? Like before WIC, before Section 8, before EBT, before all of that was and wasn't that like in the 60s when that started?
I do believe so. I mean, I know Social Security started in the 30s. I'm not sure when Medicare and Medicaid began. I'm not sure when. I mean, I do remember kids back in grade school in the 80s. You know, there were some kids that were getting free lunch, but then, you know, I had to pay for lunch, which I didn't know how that all worked out at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, because you got to qualify. You have to be like income restricted. There was like restrictions for things.
Yeah.
So all these social services started putting these new rules, new restrictions. And then I used to think, well, how did Americans survive before this if they didn't have any food and there was no like help for families?
That would be an interesting topic to do, you know, do some research on and everything. You know, when did they all start?
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And again, it's all in a ruse for us to become compliant on the government, where we have to look to the
Exactly.
government to, you know, feed us, take care of us. Oh, they're our daddy now.
Exactly. That's when I want to figure out when did all of that start and what was the deep state doing back then?
Yep.
What were they doing behind closed doors to kind of shift everybody into being dependent on the government? Because now it's almost as if you don't have those things, you won't eat, quite literally, because of how expensive everything is. You
Hmm.
won't have a place to live unless you have assistance with literally everything. Why is that? And then you
Yeah.
kind of feel like, well, I'm an American. I was born here. Why am I struggling in my own country? But
Hmm.
then somebody else comes over here illegally and they're not struggling at all. That's a dystopian world that I cannot fathom it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something went terribly wrong. And then in my abolition mindsets, I'm like, you know what? We should abolish all of it. We should abolish EBT, WIC, Section 8, Medicare, Medicaid. We should abolish literally everything and start allowing us to earn the real amount of money that we should be earning, getting the degrees and the education that we should be getting. We should be doing it ourselves, not the government.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are receiving government assistance, and I see it every day. Carissa sees it every day, where these people aren't working. They're living off the system, but they are 100% capable of working. They just
Right.
don't want to. I mean, hell, if I was getting $2,000 a month in food stamps, my housing was being taken care of, my electricity was being subsidized, and everything, why would I work?
Right. Oh, but I don't know about other states, but in Florida, you can't do that. They every 3 to 6 months they will reevaluate you to see if you can work, and they'll even help you get a job. So it's stricter in Florida than it was in New York, because
Yeah,
in New York it was just so easy to do that in the city.
yeah. Um, and I think it plays into, you know, we all know that everything is connected anyway.
Mhm.
So, you know, you get your, you know, lower income tier folks living off the government, then they don't want to work because they're getting, you know, getting that assistance, so they're fine. So, but we need people to come in and do these low level jobs. So let's go ahead and open the borders,
Right.
let these people come in, let's let them do that work, and then we'll give them stuff for free too.
Mm-mm.
And Then we'll just
That's just
screw
an excuse.
yeah, oh yeah. And then we'll just screw the middle class. We'll just tax them more. So they'll give us more money so we can keep funding all this stuff down here. And it's just a perpetual cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit has to end now.
Yeah, and JG says here that I'm happy to pay taxes to take care of the old, poor, and disabled. It's the abuse of these programs that's bad, and I agree with that half of the sentence. I agree. I agree with the latter part, but the paying taxes, I wouldn't even do that. Like we shouldn't even be paying taxes on money that you could just print. Number one.
Correct.
Number two, taking care of old, poor, and disabled, in my opinion, that's a cultural problem, because every single one of us in our families should be taking care of our own old and poor disabled family members. It shouldn't be institutions or the government taking care of your old, poor, or disabled
yeah,
people.
let's go back to 1900 and let's go back 4,000 years. How are the old and the disabled taken care of back then?
The family had to bring them in. You live with us now. We're gonna take care of you full time until the day you die.
It wasn't the government's responsibility to do it. And again, that's not the government's responsibility set forth in the Constitution to take care of the this is all, we're talking about money here. We're not talking about emotion. So let's put emotion out of this.
Right.
It's not the government's responsibility per the Constitution to take care of the elderly, the disabled, and it's not in there.
It's our responsibility.
So that should be something left to the states. If they want to set up a program, the state could vote on a program to have certain taxes that you pay in state taxes to go and help with that. Okay, that could be a state thing that somebody could do.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, your family took care of the old people. They took care of your disabled people. It's not the government's responsibility to do that.
Not at all. And it also isn't their place to now start instituting taxes on literally everybody in the country, that it comes out of your check for Medicaid and or those little taxes that they used to take out on your pay stub.
Yep.
That should be illegal, because it's like,
what
if you don't, what if you don't have those old, poor, disabled people in your family that is taking your taxes out of it? So you're literally paying for somebody who you don't even know, and they're taking your money that you've earned. I would disagree with that. No, I want all of my money. And then when my parents get old and they move in with me, I got to take care of them. I need that money to take care of them. Like it needs to come back home. Everything needs to come back inward, rather than it going out to the government and forcing those taxes. I didn't agree to that. I'm like, where did I sign up to be these taxes be taken out?
That just falls back under the main agenda of the New World Order, is to have complete control over everything. Have complete control of your life from birth to death.
Right.
That's what they wanted. And they've been slowly putting that plan in place all these past years.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to a point now to where people are waking up and we can put a stop to it. That's why Trump said there should be no taxes on, he said in his first term that we should get rid of payroll taxes. We should get rid of income taxes. Now he's talking about no taxes on tips, know, and he's absolutely correct. We should not be paying taxes on any of that stuff.
On nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Because it is completely, unconstitutional to be paying federal income tax. And of course, you have the people that say, well, if you stop paying income tax, then they're going to come and lock you up. Yeah, they probably will. That's how they force themselves to get you to comply with what they want you to do.
And that should be the biggest red flag to you right there. Exactly.
Now, there are a lot of people out there that I've talked to that, they have quit paying their federal income taxes, and they ignore every letter from the IRS.
Yeah, those are real Americans.
Now, with me, If it were just me and I was the only one involved in my household,
Yes.
I would not be paying federal income tax.
Agreed.
But
Yeah.
I'm married and I gotta unfortunately play the game until
Yep.
hopefully Trump comes out and says, "Hey everybody, there's no more federal income tax."
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay it at all.
Exactly. Listen, I would be the most rebellious, like civilly disobedient American out there. And that's why they
Oh,
want to lock us up, because they don't want people having such an open mind like us and defying the government like we would if we could.
Yeah.
If we didn't have things to lose, if we didn't have loved ones or like a lifestyle or like enjoying our freedom, and that's why they threaten your freedom all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what we would be doing.
It's exactly right.
I don't know, man. I think I think it's gonna get real, and I believe you now, man. When you say, "Oh, it's gonna get just wait, it's gonna get more bumpy or whatever," because I'm like, you know what? In those older strings, I used to be a little afraid. I don't know if you could tell that, but I used to be like a little afraid, like, oh no, like, do you really think? Like, I used to always doubt that, like I was
And that's
afraid.
okay because you're just waking up to all this stuff.
Yeah.
And when I was learning all this stuff, I was just like, okay, so for example, in my career, I usually average $100,000 in production every year. Okay, that's always been my goal to do every year. Some years I've gone past that, and I'm talking about production, folks. That's not the money I make.
Right.
I wish it was. I wish. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm okay. But in 2020, you know how much production I had in 2020? 41,000.
Oh man.
2021, I had 43,000. And 2022, I only had I think I had a big year and did 49,000.
Ah, no. Yeah.
All right. So those 3 years, I did not have the production that I normally have because I was going down all those rabbit holes. Now I'm in a position financially to where I could be like, yeah, okay, well, I'm not going to really work hard this year. I'm going down all these so I took the time to do that. I was able to do that.
Right. Right.
But now I've got my production back up now. Last year was back over 100,000. This year I'm at 95. So I'm back doing what I need to do for work. But I was in a position to where I could do that research. A lot of folks, they don't have that luxury to be able to take all that time and look into all this stuff.
Yeah.
But while I was doing it, Ruby, I was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I can't believe this. There's no way this is real. And then I dig and dig and dig and dig some more. I'm like, holy crap, this looks to be real.
Yeah.
So that's why, when I came to 6 Screens with the big picture episode, I had every pure intention to bring all that information that I learned to the XJW community to try to help give them a fast track into this information, because I know a lot of them didn't have time to do all that research.
Right.
So I'm trying to help folks, but oh my God, the backlash we got.
Really?
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. So what we're doing here, folks, we take our time. We do this for you guys. It's exactly why we do it.
Yeah, and this is like your second coming, basically. This is your second opportunity to do it here, and I'm so glad that you are, because I would have not reached half of the things that you've brought up. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my cousin.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to her some more, because she's waking up to a lot of stuff. And she mentioned cloning to me today. This whole thing with Hollywood. She's like, "What the hell, Jimmy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well." And see, when I took the oath to be a digital soldier, one of the things we were always told is, you're going through boot camp right now, so as you'll be ready to be in the fight as others start to wake up, and you can help them.
Right.
That's where I'm at. And so I was telling my wife the other day, I was like, I have a hard time. I mean, I don't know when the last time I put a video on my channel was. I don't know. I have to go back and look. But honestly, I really have no desire to talk about Watchtower stuff anymore.
Yup, me too.
Personally, I'm done with it.
Completely.
And the only reason I say that is because there's not any information that I can put out that's not already out there.
Exactly.
So why am I going to waste my time and reiterate stuff that's already out there?
Yep.
Why am I going to waste my time focusing on Watchtower when I know that they're just a little itty bitty fish in this big ass pond and I want to go after the bigger fish?
Yep.
And so as far as doing videos, yeah, I'll probably start doing some more on my, but I enjoy coming on here because I feel like I want to help you, you know, and others, and kind of be there to be like, yeah, did y'all know about that? Did you know about this? So I enjoy doing this, and I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think King Tony went on a roller coaster these past few days, and we've been talking every single day. And I tell her, well, I mean, what do you think Jimmy has been saying this entire time? So it's like we have those streams that we need to go back and we need to see what this guy was saying. Because at the moment we were shocked. We were like, what? We were scared. And then now I'm like, you see what I'm saying? It's falling into place. You just have to you have to be awake for that.
This is why I've told everybody, or I've suggested to everybody, especially if you're an XJW.
Yep.
Go back and watch our big picture episodes. There's like 16 or 17 of them. But we designed that in a way to where at the beginning, again, we were putting the frame of the puzzle together. The first three or four episodes, we were putting the frame together. And then we went a little deeper here, a little deeper here. And then we started creating this picture of what was going on. And the information that's in the big picture episodes, you would be like, what the hell? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they need to go and follow you on X. Everybody needs to go follow Jimmy on X because he posted a bunch of them on his timeline.
Yeah.
And you could find those episodes. I watched a few of them. I had to go back and finish the series. But that's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh my goodness, it's a lot of.
And it wasn't just me doing the video. I mean, you got Laurel, who's from Mexico, and she's got huge connections on things. Then you have Lori Bell from Hawaii. She's really good. I mean, the three of us collaborated, and then we would pull guests in. When we were talking about the financial system and stuff, I think we pulled in Kim and Mikey. We pulled them in. They're on one of our episodes. I pulled John in on a couple of the episodes. We had, oh God, what was his name? Oh Lord, I can't remember the dude's name. Oh, I can't remember. But we had a guy that talked about the problem reaction solution stuff. Oli Damagard, that was his name. He's very good. He's got some good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in those episodes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna put your X profile. I'm gonna just start putting it in the description for every single episode because I usually like put my own. And
I need to send you the link to the BitChute channel where all the big picture episodes are. And then that way you can put it. And also on that particular channel, I have opened it up to where Bo Benson posts a lot of stuff there too. So it's not just stuff that I do, it's stuff that he's done as well. So a lot of good stuff there, folks. There's a lot of information out there.
Yeah. So we were talking on the phone today and we were like for hours, right? And I don't know if you heard on yesterday's stream, but I was gonna get baptized today. So we were talking on the phone today, right? And it was like 2-3 o'clock, and I was like, all right, listen, I need to go get baptized and then we could continue this conversation. Because that's how much we talk. It's like for hours and hours,
Yeah.
and just like sharing so many videos on Instagram, on X, Discord. It's like we're all on different apps having different conversations, and I'm like, you got it, you got it. You're waking up, and it's like, you know how you were watching me wake up. It's like now I'm watching her
Yeah.
kind of wake up, and we have these conversations, and she'll disagree with me so much on something, and I'm like, listen, two things can be true at the exact same time.
Absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but all I'm saying is that this is my opinion on it. And I cannot 100% say I believe in it or that I don't believe in it, but we're at least speculating. That's what's important, is to at least open your mind enough to talk about it and to
Mhm.
speculate and to say, well, what if?
Yeah.
That is what's important for us, because we were never allowed to do that.
Right.
And, you know, especially with our religious differences, we never allowed ourselves, but we're doing it now, and that's what's important. It doesn't really matter who's right and wrong, if it's true or not right now. I mean, the truth does matter later, but for right now, let yourself soak in that, process it, and speculate.
Imagine if you were in a, okay, imagine you're back in the JW world. It's a Saturday morning and you're out in field service and you're driving to that far distant return
Mhm.
visit that's like 30 miles away, because you know you can just ride in the car and get okay, just say you're
Yep.
doing all that. There's four people in the car and you say, hey guys, have you ever wondered if it's possible that the governing body could be wrong?
Never in a million years
That would
you would do
never
that.
ever
Never.
happen. Why would that never happen? Because you
Never.
were conditioned not to even
Think about that.
entertain that question,
Yup.
even though you might be thinking that's not something you say.
Exactly. And that's the culture we grew up in.
Exactly. So,
Mhm.
you know, now that we're out of that, it's okay to say, hey, what if the government is screwing us all over? You know,
Yup.
we can
And
we can do that now. And if you're not doing that, if you're not asking skeptical questions, you're not awake yet.
right. And I caught myself in one of those instances where something did slip out. And you see, this is when I realized that I am not in the matrix. I'm outside of it. Because these instances would happen to me. One time we were talking about omens, right? And omens, and I looked up the definition just in case, right? It's an event regarded as a portent of good or evil. And another definition can be prophetic significance, right? An omen. So that was being talked about, and I took it as prophetic. And we talk a lot about prophets and prophecies in JW culture. So I blurted out to one of my friends who was also my same age, and he was also baptized. Crazy, right? Like another 10-year-old, 11-year-old who was also baptized. And I was asking him, do you believe in omens? And he and I said it so publicly, like with everybody in the living room. Everybody stopped, turned around, and looked at me.
Hmm.
And you could hear a pin drop,
Hmm.
and their eyes were so open. And he looked at me and he was like, no.
Yeah.
Why, how dare you ask me that question? And it made me feel so like we like, oh, I'm sorry, like, was that a bad, like, I should have not said, like you got caught in that kind of a moment.
Right.
And then I look at my mom and I was like, yo, did I say something wrong? Like it was that bad. Like everybody just stopped what they were doing. And I was like, what didn't you say? It's like prophetic and prophecy and like good and bad, and that's what we talk about in the Bible.
Hmm.
So they were like, no, absolutely not. And then my mom had to be like, you know what, we'll talk about it later. And it was like that. We're gonna have a conversation later because what you just said was outrageous. And that's when I realized I am never bringing up anything that ever comes to my head ever again. Like, you shut down that thinking process
Hmm.
because of the reaction. And I told myself, you know what, maybe I'm not as good a JW I thought I was. Like, it makes you
Right.
question yourself, like, nah. And now looking back at it, I was never in that matrix. I mentally just wasn't.
Right.
And that's why when I grew up, I ultimately left. And sometimes it's easier for others, but for me, it was that easy to just be like, flip the switch, I'm out of here. I don't care anymore. And that's it.
You know, there's that meme that goes around that says maybe that kid that wasn't listening in class was just tuning out the matrix.
Yes. Yes, Jimmy, that's exactly what I was doing. I was blocking literally everything out. So for the 2 hour meeting, I didn't hear anything. Like I blocked all of that out, and it went one ear out the other. And I did not regard it as how everybody else did.
Yeah, when I was younger, yeah, full on, you know, I believed everything. But when I got reinstated back in 96, I got disfellowshipped in 94, reinstated in 97, and then basically from 98 to 2010, I was inactive. I didn't go to meetings.
Mhm.
So I wasn't getting that indoctrination on a daily
Mhm.
basis. So when I went back in 2011 and I'm starting to listen to stuff again, 2011, 12, I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
What y'all change this overlapping generation? What the hell is that? You know, so I'm sitting there,
Yeah.
and it was only because from about 93 to 2010, I wasn't going to meetings and going and stuff. But now mentally, I was still a JW all those years.
Right.
I didn't celebrate Christmas. I didn't, you know, but I'm thankful that I wasn't getting that indoctrination anymore on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what's helped me wake up as fast as I have with some of this stuff. Because when I first started out, you know, I was in it for 2 years. People, Jimmy, how long have you been awake? I'm like, 2 years. They're like, holy crap, how did you get this far in 2 years?
Right.
It's just like I didn't have a lot of indoctrination that I had to wipe from my brain.
Right. And I think that's the weird thing with me, is because even though I blocked it out at the Kingdom Hall, when we got home, that's where the real indoctrination was happening, because I didn't
Right.
have a choice but to block out my mother. So she was really, really forceful with it. And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have left sooner.
Yeah.
But that's how she took it upon herself. And that's why my cousin is confused. She's like, but you were never really that spiritual. You never really, like, we could tell. And I'm like, you're right. But at the exact same time, she had my mind. That's the
Mhm.
brainwashing. I
Yeah.
was believing, I was like indoctrinated, but you didn't see that on the outside was because I was not projecting that energy. I wasn't reaching out, and both things are true.
And this is why personally I have a difficult time. And this is not a slam to anybody, it's just an observation. Folks that continually, XJWs, who continually watch shows that are putting out Watchtower literature, or they're talking about Watchtower 24/7 nonstop,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not letting their minds break away from that indoctrination. Now, the person putting the information, they could have all the good intentions of helping people, but yet there's still that Watchtower information that's still getting into the people's brains,
Yes.
and that triggers the subconscious.
Yes.
And then you have a hard time, or not you personally, but then these people have a hard time from breaking away. I just don't see how people can continually watch programs that go over and over Watchtower stuff over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. And by extension, you are a leg of Watchtower, because you continue to push it out to an audience. So you're doing exactly what they're doing.
You're just not giving your brain a chance to have a break from it. See, like for example, when I watch six screens, I can't watch six screens now. You know, Rick's a great guy. Gave me a platform. Thank you, Rick.
Yes.
But I can't watch 4 hours of six screens. I want
No, yeah.
I want to slit my wrist.
Yep.
Because I'm like, oh my God, it's the same stuff over and over again.
Right. And I only watch like Eric or Gigi. And if it's not Eric or Gigi, like my favorite type of shows, then I'm only in the chat or I come in and I come out, but that's about it.
Yeah, I can't stay in and watch. It's like Kim and Mikey. Kim and Mikey do a great job, but it's and nothing against them. I mean, they're friends of mine. I have them on my phone. I talk to them all the time. Well, not all the time, but I talk to them.
Right.
I just can't continue to keep putting Watchtower information in my head.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Now, the people that are just waking up to Watchtower, okay, those are great outlets for them to go to.
Mhm.
But I'm past that.
Like way past it.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that get stuck there and they can't get past it because they're just consuming it all the time.
Yeah. Or maybe it's also not allowing you to heal properly because
There's that too.
you continue to talk about all the bad stuff that happened in your life. Of course, you're gonna continue to be depressed if you keep talking about the depressing stuff in your life.
Exactly.
You gotta change the subject even for yourself and move forward. And I've learned that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, once I gave all of those emotions and feelings, like it was off my chest, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you said, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you for having the platform and doing this for people. But I did it. I got rid of it and I'm good now.
Yeah. It's like I just can't do JW stuff anymore. Hey, look,
Hi, Tony.
Damn,
Oh, I didn't even know.
What's up, girl?
Yeah, what you
Merry
doing?
Christmas. I'm just getting home.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, I'm so full. I feel like I'm 6 months pregnant.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it was some good ham, some good penne. Like I haven't had ham like in a long time.
Yeah.
It was fire, banging.
Good. How you feeling?
Like overall?
Yeah. It's not snowing, right? It's cold?
No, it's actually not that cold. It was colder this morning. Yeah, this morning it was brick.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden it feels like the beginning of spring.
Yeah.
It's weird. I told you, Mia, those machines. It's the machines. They need to fix it. They need to do some work.
What machines? All the weather machines? Oh, don't start.
She ain't wrong. Climate change isn't real. Weather manipulation, 100% legit.
Every time I think of Groundhog Day, for some reason, I don't know. That's my favorite movie to watch.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I don't think I've seen.
What?
I mean, I've heard of it. I just don't know if I've seen it. So,
Jimmy, come on, Jimmy, you gotta tell all the movies, Jimmy.
yeah.
Oh, I know Groundhog Day. I've watched Groundhog Day.
Okay, so
I'm saying we gotta put her on because this girl, like, what the heck?
Did you see the movies I told you recently?
Yeah, the only one
Froze up.
Oh man, she was just about to say.
He was froze up. But yeah, until she comes back. Yeah, just with me. That's why I like coming on here, because during the week or whatever, there's not a lot of people that I can talk to about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel like doing the videos on my own right now. I'm just like, I'm just gonna be a guest. Let me just go be a color analysis or whatever. It's just easier for me.
Right.
And I like talking in present. I don't like having a script. Now on my shows, if I was trying to drive points home, yes, I have a certain script that I'm trying to use because I want to bring out the information and give it to the folks. Yeah. But this is just hanging out and talking about stuff. I love doing that.
Right. It's casual. It's not so formal. I mean, even with my videos, when I'm doing like those news stuff, it's because I know nobody knows about it. So I don't do a script either. I just talk the way I talk. Yo, you glitch, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm telling you, they don't want me talking about the weather machines. There was
Did I tell you they be messing with my internet too?
No, but it's a little crazy because a little
It
bit more
is.
now. Like,
Yeah,
how about y'all mind your business?
they're not, and that's the whole
Mind your
Patriot Act.
business.
That the whole after 2001, you don't have any privacy online or even offline.
Yeah, that's a little scary. I
Yeah.
know, it's okay. They're gonna hear it all. They're gonna hear it all.
We might as well just do ancestry.com because I was telling Tony we should do the ancestry because the government already has everything about us. Why not our DNA as well,
Hello,
right?
they took my booger swab.
Yeah,
They took
the
my
whole COVID
saliva
test.
swab.
I told
They,
you.
Oh, they
they
already
got
got
all
yours,
my
then.
DNA, all of it.
Yeah, they already got yours. They ain't got
Yeah.
mine.
Listen,
They got mine.
I got
Sorry.
all 4 vaccines. They got it all in
And
me.
I
They can
told you
literally
not
make me
to.
faint right now. Literally
Hey,
knock me out. They can control
don't.
every single thing.
Hello, don't say the V word. I'm on probation. We'll call it the jab. And
The
that was
jab.
telling you, yeah. And I was telling you not to take those jabs when we were in the city.
You were, but I
you.
told you I work in the medical field, so
And I
was forced.
told you, would you rather lose your job or would you rather lose your life? And
I-
that's the point that
Hey,
this
hey.
government is doing to us.
I'm a pure blood.
Me
God,
too.
God bless your soul.
No, you need to be blessed. You need God.
Blessed. I'm not trying to be less, okay? I'm trying to be more, okay?
Listen, mira,
okay?
you like my dress, my new
Do
baptism
you
dress?
hear me? I'm trying to be the one, like, oh, yes.
Yeah, and the necklace, you like the necklace?
Yo, she's official.
Yeah, I got this dress at
Practically the
Target.
Virgin Mary. I know.
Yeah, I know. No, it's beautiful. It's like a maxi dress all the way
You
up to
gotta
my
stop
ankles.
with the ginger hair. It's given. It's very given. Very
This is
given.
ombre. What you mean ginger?
That's like a strawberry blonde
No, it's
ginger.
not. No,
What?
it's
What
not.
do you call that?
This is ombre. It's brown and then it's blonde on the bottom.
Okay, strawberry shortcake.
Am I tripping? Do you guys see red or is it me?
I see strawberry. I don't know.
No, this is brown.
What's
and
wrong with
blonde on
strawberry
the
shortcake?
bottom.
Everyone loves strawberry shortcake.
No. Anyways, yeah, the baptism went great. It was awesome.
Congratulations. We got an Orthodox Christian on the panel. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. And
The corona? Okay, give me a second. Hold on. I gotta get the corona. Not the jab.
the dirt, the drink, the beer.
The throwback, the nightcap, like
yeah, this new year I need to get more wigs. We'll get more wigs. But listen, I told you not to get that jab. And I told you
that's probably why I'm not gonna lie, I'm all fucked up right now. But you know what?
No, it's true, Jimmy. She's been
I'm
getting
sure
really sick.
in like another year I'll have another head growing, another pinky growing on my finger. Like it's coming, guys. You're gonna see Shrek in about a year and a half.
We need to help King Tony do a detox of the jabs because you're killing Jimmy over there.
Sorry, I'm serious. I'm gonna start eating onions.
Do a detox for you because I don't know if Jimmy knows this, but Tony, she has a problem. She has PKD. It's the kidney disease.
Oh yeah.
And those jabs were really, hurting people's health.
Listen, I got 4 kidneys now. Better than ever.
We need to do a detox. We need to do a detox for you.
There's detoxes. There's detoxes out there too that you can do. Certain baths you can take as well.
Well, I do a lot of natural stuff anyways. Like, I'm sure it's helping. Like, I do a lot of juicing, celery, apple juicing. And then I got my honey that I infuse with all the garlic, the onion, all of that. Like, I'm about to be a witch soon.
I got a whole cabinet in there. My wife's into that stuff. I'm a good
witch. I'm a witch for the kingdom. A witch for the kingdom.
I made a body detox the other day where I took skin of pineapple and boiled the skin of the pineapple, added turmeric and cinnamon to it, and Jimmy knows. I strained all that stuff and I made a detox fluid out of that. Then I took what was the other one I did? Ginger, turmeric, and oh my God, what did I do? I boiled something else. I made another one too. I've got 2 detoxers in my refrigerator right now. that I take.
Also, you make it in a big jar.
Yeah, I take it on a daily basis.
You see,
Oh,
I
okay.
have I'm gonna have to start doing that because it's a lot of work to do it every time. That's what I've been doing.
Right.
Like I like to drink it fresh,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. It gets exhausting. It's like
I also I do Shilajit, pure Shilajit. That stuff's good for you.
that sounds familiar. Shilajit.
Shilajit, that's what I take. So with the Shilajit, my 2 detoxes that I do, and then some of the honey stuff that my wife's made. She's actually made our own deodorant. We make our own deodorant.
Oh my God! Please tell me how you do it. I have been experimenting, and for the life of me, I cannot do it. I
Yeah.
don't know why. And I did excuse me. I had to show. I almost showed everything. I tried the baking soda, and I guess I put too much baking soda, and it was like giving me like a skin reaction.
Yeah.
So I gave up. I was like so discouraged. I'm like, I can't do it. Why can't I do this?
I'll talk to her and I'll hook her up to you.
Because literally, it is. I am so sensitive. I am allergic to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We make our own toothpaste. I make
my God!
I make my own laundry detergent.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get on board.
You
I'm gonna have to get on board.
Stop playing games here.
Because Jimmy is the real deal. That's why he's a real one.
Real G.
That's
real
why.
G.
And I am like the apprentice. I'm almost there, not quite. I need to get there. So
it's okay. You'll do when he's not around. You definitely know number 2.
No, I have.
Well,
to
I'm at 23%, so I got 8 more % with you guys before I start losing battery power big time. So
oh, man. You're gonna have to get a portable charger out there. Get them connected to a tree that connects the electricity to a brain.
Hey, at least I got my heater going tonight.
Yeah, nice.
No heat.
I'm outside.
No, he's outside.
Your little den. Okay.
I'm in my
Yeah.
cage.
Yeah.
So yeah, we make all that stuff. I actually had to go out and buy a brand new cabinet for Carissa because she went and ordered all this natural stuff. We got so much natural stuff in here. She can make her own lip balm, lip gloss. Yeah, we don't mess with that stuff.
Channel. Or
You gotta
something.
email me like a recipe and then we'll remake it.
Yes.
And we'll start doing that.
Yeah, because I am all about the natural way.
Yeah, her daughter she just got a book today. Her daughter gave us a Christmas present on all these different types of home remedies. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, she's all. I mean, she's in the health industry. She knows what crap is in the health industry.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, she's been a nurse for 30 years and she's she's so done with nursing, but she would love to create something where she's making her own stuff for other folks. She's into the healing stuff. It's great stuff.
It is.
I mean, the whole onion in your sock if you're sick or whatever.
Yeah.
That's old school.
Right.
Old school.
Yeah, we used to do stuff like that too, like Vicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, but what was it? It's peppermint with for the Vicks, the natural peppermint rub. Okay, hold on.
You know, if you have puffy eyes, you know what the best thing is for puffy? I can't believe we're talking about this now, but we talk about everything. But the best thing for puffy eyes is Vaseline.
Stop, really?
Yeah, Vaseline actually has a lot of properties that are actually good for you.
Yeah.
I saw a post somewhere. I'm gonna have to
Wow.
You can actually put Vaseline on your pulse points, on your neck, and on your wrist. Put Vaseline on there.
I put this.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't know what that is.
It's basically it's like Aquaphor is like a Vaseline.
All right, cool. So you put that on your pulse points, and then put your perfume or cologne on.
Okay.
And it does better because the Vaseline blocks your pores. And so that cologne's not going into you're not absorbing it.
Right.
Right.
And it actually lasts longer and you smell better longer.
It's true. He's right. He's right.
When have I been wrong? Just kidding.
So how was everyone's night? Did you guys have a good Christmas Eve?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Okay, good. I opened my gifts already because I don't know if you know, Jimmy, but the Latinos, a lot of Latinos, they celebrate the night of Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we do everything on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you too.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so we already did everything. We did the games and the gifts tonight and everything like that.
Yeah.
So-
I'm the only one who does it on the day of, I guess.
The cool thing is my anniversary was on 12/16, and you see this little hoodie right here.
Yeah.
Well, my wife knows I come out here and it's cold and everything, but it's got a little button here. And
Yeah.
if I click it,
To keep you warm.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
I have a heated jacket. So she got me the hoodie, she got me a
Oh,
jacket,
man.
and there's actually a blanket that she got me that's got a heating system in it
Oh,
too.
that's even better,
man.
yo.
I hope I don't give you no radiation. I hope you don't get cancer or something.
Yeah, no. Well,
I mean, with the 5G poles, we're all gonna die. Don't worry.
No, for real. For real.
We ain't gonna make it in 2026. Let's see.
Yes, we are.
Let's see.
Yes, we are.
So let me tell you something. Let's get back to the political stuff real quick. Let me just tell you
Okay.
one thing to be aware of. I heard this on. I'm at 20%. So I was listening to SG Anon the other night. He's one of the OG digital soldiers. He's really good. His information goes deep.
Mhm.
It goes deep. But he was saying the other night that one of the things that we need to be aware of, he's saying, now I'm not saying this is going to happen. He says, I've been wrong before on a few things, but he says one of the next false flags to look out for will be some type of radioactive, radioactive contamination of targeted water supplies.
Yeah.
So that could be something the deep state tries to do. We did hear that there was spikes in radiation levels in New York and New Jersey here recently. So it looks like they're setting the stage for this.
Mhm.
So what boxes does this mark off the list for the deep state? Well, it pushes fear. It allows them to gain control of our movement. They could do lockdowns. They could do contact tracing.
Okay.
You know, if Ruby's been exposed to radiation and she's been around 10 people, well, we need to find out who those 10 people are. So not saying that's going to happen, but it's something to be aware of. And one of the things was he went and looked and found where, like on The Simpsons, he did a search for episode of Simpsons where radiation affects what's the town? Summerfield. Is it Summerfield where they live at?
I have no clue.
Summerfield water supply. The Simpsons actually did an episode like this.
Yep.
Okay. Not saying, we know how people always point to The Simpsons on stuff, but there's been a lot of chatter about that. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
Do not comply with what they say, because it's going to be another bullshit distraction. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there for have to go.
Nice.
Oh, okay, good. So that's
Thank you.
something to look out for.
He's like our news reporter.
Yeah.
We are the news now.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? It starts making sense when we start listening. Oh, Jimmy said that's what Jimmy's been talking about. Like we have that little echo in our head of Jimmy.
Yeah.
We got that echo in our head
Whenever
now.
we read something new or we're shocked, we're like, we gotta ask Jimmy this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to help. That's why I'm doing what I do, is to help people.
I mean, where would we be if we didn't have people like you, Jimmy?
Exactly, because they want to make it seem like, oh, those people are crazy. Don't talk to those people. They're conspiracy theorists.
I've been told I was crazy since I was little, so I mean, it's nothing new to me.
Exactly. Yeah, I know, right? Me too.
Yep, exactly. So, okay, so we'll look out for that. But you see, I wouldn't comply with anything, really. Like at the end of the day, I would not comply with anything that the government says. I wouldn't comply with none of it. So that is something good to also.
Yeah, one of the good lessons that you really need to learn, that people need to learn, is whatever the government tells you, do the opposite.
Right.
Do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen.
Did you bring up everything that you wanted to bring up, Ruby? For today?
I did in the beginning, and then Jimmy gave his opinion on it, and I didn't know if you were gonna come on. So in the beginning, I said, I thought King Tony was gonna come on, so I could talk about the Blake Lively stuff.
Oh man, yeah.
But I mean, basically, Jimmy said like not everybody is in the satanic occult in Hollywood. So when you do see lawsuits like this, it's probably because she feels safe enough to do so because she's not, there's probably not that much blackmail on her or whatever. She's not tied down to that. Because I was like, what's the difference if all these other people like Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and all these other people who have been accused of something, why didn't they just sue them? And if they did sue them, all the people in the lawsuit that sued Spacey died all of a sudden, mysteriously died, all the victims or the witnesses, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh snap. That's when you know this is like Hillary Clinton level. This is not normal.
Yeah, wait till everybody learns about Miss Hillary.
And I think people do know. Well, I don't know if King Tony has gone down that road, but
I know. I mean, I know only a little because I went down the adrenochrome rabbit hole, so I know a little bit, but maybe I don't know all of it. Yeah.
But not only that, just like the fraud that she did, especially in Haiti, the people that have come up suicided themselves. That doesn't make any sense. Like a lot of mysterious things.
Y'all remember the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks?
Yo, I've heard a lot about it.
What movie? Hold on, let me write that down.
Castaway.
Famous movie. He named soccer ball Wilson.
Yeah, let's talk about that soccer ball Wilson.
I know. I've already heard all the videos. I know. Tell me, Jimmy. Tell me.
Look into that. Okay, just look into what the face on that volleyball represented.
Okay, I've seen the picture, but I have not. I don't know what Castaway is, so I'm gonna have to.
Well, Castaway is just a movie. I mean, the movie doesn't even really matter. I was just talking about the ball.
It's the ball.
The ball.
And the hand
so basically, he's on an airplane. The airplane crashes. Everyone dies except him. He washes ashore to this island, and basically he's surviving on this island. And he finds this soccer ball, and he basically creates this face on the soccer ball, and he names the ball Wilson, and that's his best friend. And he takes and does everything with Wilson. But the point that Jimmy's making is the hand painting that he did. It symbolized something.
Is that the movie, the first one right there?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? 2002?
Yep, that's it.
All right, so look this up real quick, Ruby, and put it on. I'm at 14%. Look up picture of Wilson volleyball.
Okay, picture
of Wilson on a volleyball.
On a volleyball.
I think the brand was Wilson, the company, and he named it Wilson, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, that doesn't even matter either. What matters is this picture. This
right there. Yep, that's it.
The lower right-hand corner. That right there. Folks, do a dive on what that means. I'm not going to tell you because I'm at 13% now.
Yeah.
But it's tied to Ellen. It's tied to Hillary. It's tied to Lady Gaga. Yeah. Look at the outfit Lady Gaga wore at one of the shows.
Yeah.
This is a very important thing to learn. So
I think also Jay-Z had something to do with that too.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yep.
Okay,
I just recently saw a few videos on it, so that's why I'm kind of like I know a little, but yeah, it's crazy.
Is there anything in the comments? Anything real quick before I go?
No, just saying thank you, Jimmy. You and your family have a Merry Christmas.
Looking eggs. Okay.
Yeah, somebody was talking about eggs. Some people are saying good night.
Yeah, okay. So I don't really see anything. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head on, ladies.
All right.
It was enjoyed. I will probably more than likely we'll be back next week. It'll be something else we didn't know about. There was going to be a woman on a subway burning this week.
Exactly.
Oh, you talked about it already.
A little bit, but I'll talk
Yeah.
about it with you in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
crazy.
so who knows what next week will bring?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
love you guys.
Love
For
you.
folks in the chat,
Merry Christmas and say Merry Christmas to your wife.
Merry
Send them
Christmas
love
to
and
you.
hugs, okay?
And we'll do. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Awesome, man. And it is Christmas because it's
So
midnight. So it's December 25th.
it is. Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't know if you guys already celebrated your Christmas already, but I hope you
So my
guys have
dad's
a
coming
wonderful.
tomorrow, and that's when we're gonna open up the gifts and all that good stuff.
Yeah. That's gonna be so much fun. Oh my god, it was so much fun seeing Elliot. Oh my god, Keiko.
Mira this comment. Jenny S says, "Congrats on today, Ruby. So are you Irene now?" Yes, that's my Christian name now. I am Irene.
Irene. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
I know it's crazy.
So
It's like,
and then the kids is what you decided?
yep,
So
everything is
Quentin, Quentin, Job,
Gabrielle and Job. Yeah,
Job, yeah, and Gabrielle.
those are the saints, and Irene for me.
Wow.
So
You gotta send me all the pictures.
I got a couple of pictures, and hold on, let me see. Do I have it here? I think I can probably show one of them because it's like our backs turned, so you don't see anybody's face. So I think it's safe to show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see if I could show you this one. Okay. So this is a good special for everybody. So can you see that?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so that's everybody. I think that's after the baptism, and they blessed the crosses, and we had to do like this. We go around that podium 3 times, and
Okay.
icon is there, and they're reading out, like prayers, blessings, a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
Oh, let me see if I could show you what the tub looked like. So that was the tub.
Wow, that's an old school tub.
Yeah, I think they got it like from Lowe's or something, and then they spray painted it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a little.
That looks like it came from 1800s.
I think so.
Oh my god!
But I need him to send me the videos that we got.
Yeah, I want to see
Because he took video, but we don't have it here. Okay, this is the kids. There was 4 kids.
Oh my god!
Yeah, 4 kids, and then the rest were adults.
Look at them; they look so cute.
Yeah. I am gonna stream tomorrow. Debbie's asking if we're gonna stream tomorrow. So we're gonna do a holiday stream basically tomorrow. Talking about Christmas, talking about presents, and being grateful for everything, like the Thanksgiving one. Congrats, thank you, Thrifty. So I gotta get the video version of tonight, and then I'll share that with you privately on Discord. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll like you'll hear like the process of it. Very traditional. You have your godmother, your godfather there, and I think for the adults they call it like a sponsor rather than a godparent because you're already an adult. But basically that's what she is. She's like my godmother, and so when they put when you're getting baptized, it's like they help you get in the tub, they help you get out of it, they help you put your necklace on. That's the person who's gonna be helping you throughout the whole journey, your Christian journey. Right. That's your godmother, your godfather, So they're responsible for you, kind of, and they're responsible for the spirituality of that responsibility of the child's responsibility. It's like now, if God forbid the parents die, or if they don't go to church anymore, the godparents are supposed to step in and continue the routine of the church and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
I love
So the godparents were there too?
Yes, so they're standing behind us. So
Okay.
it's the priest in front and the people who are getting baptized, and then the second row of people is like all your supporters, like right there, like we're right behind you. You're not gonna fall, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like we're here
Yeah.
to help you. It just feels so like cozy. You know what I mean? Like it feels more personable. It
Yeah, I
feels
mean, the
yeah,
other one, I remember being baptized years ago, and it was just in and out.
right. Like a
Um,
number. They're pushing out a
yeah,
number. Do it, get baptized, and get out of here. Like
right.
that's it. Take a flick, you're gone. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like, wow, oh
Completely different.
yes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really great experience. I mean, when I want to watch the video with you and talk to you at that, like we need to do a
Yeah, like
FaceTime video.
commentary. Yeah.
Yeah, so that we can go side
Did
by side.
was Quentin, was Terrence able to go?
Everybody went. Everybody was there.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. So
Everybody.
how did he feel?
I don't know. We were just watching everything. Just
Okay.
watching, going along with it. And I didn't even know how long it was gonna take, but it ended up being like 3 hours long.
Well, because there was a lot of people.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But also because we did the vigil afterwards. So you were getting baptized and then you do the Christmas Eve vigil where you're singing the hymns and you're doing everything. And then
Okay.
tomorrow we're going to church for Christmas Day. So
Okay.
it's like you're
Wow.
celebrating this with your Christian brothers and sisters, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a family, you know?
Yeah.
And since we don't have that, it means everything to me. Like I'm
Yeah.
spending Christmas with my godmother, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just so much
Yeah.
more important, you know, like you feel different. I don't know how to explain it. It's just different.
Yeah. It's just, I think,
I love it.
yeah.
I
It's
love that. Like,
exposure.
and we
You're
didn't have that.
learning. You're growing. It's new, and it's completely
But
different than
we
what
didn't
we
but
lived.
we didn't but we didn't have that, right? Like what I told you
Yeah,
on the
but
last
it's like even the podcast that you showed me, like even how they were talking, they were so calm, kind, patient, understanding. They listened, they
right,
asked you
right,
clarifying questions, like
right,
you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like talking down to you or making you feel like you're walking on
right,
eggshells, like you got to be careful with what you say because you know they might take it the wrong way, and then
right. You don't
yeah.
have none of that fear. You just say whatever you want to say, and they respectfully critique you back, and they say, "Well, this is why you don't want to do this, or this is why you want to do this," and they give you all angles within 5 minutes. By the end of one person talking, you're like, "Oh, you're right."
Yeah, and they know their history. You know what I'm saying? Like these
Exactly.
witnesses don't know nothing.
Exactly. You see what I told you last time? I said, you see what that priest said in that space? He said, as long as you have the truth as the center, like the objective truth, it doesn't matter what you think or what you feel. You
Yeah.
got the truth, and that's all you need as the foundation. It doesn't, and that's why you should not take your spirituality or anything by emotion or with feelings or with how
Hmm.
this made me feel. No, you don't guide yourself through your heart or through your mind. You guide yourself with the truth, regardless of what it is. And I take that to the bank with anything in my life, not just religious things or political things or whatever. It doesn't matter. You never let your emotions rule anything.
Hmm.
Go with the facts. Oh, yeah. You see what Jenny said? You see, she said, you just had a spiritual baptism, not a contract with an organization.
That
Yo,
sounds so
Jenny.
creepy. A
But
contract with an organization. Oh my
and
god.
that's exactly what it was without us even realizing. And you see how Jenny just said it so simply? Because that's exactly what it is. I can't even explain how it was. But it was a real spiritual baptism. That's why they say you wear white, after you get baptized. And I thank God I found this white dress at Target because it was the only one in like this size all by itself
Beautiful.
in Target.
Beautiful.
I was like, wow, this was waiting for me there. It was waiting for me. And it was crazy because the other Ruby, she told me I was gonna buy that dress at Target. I can't believe you got it. I said, yeah, I had to look all over for nobody sells white dresses anymore. Like, what?
I like
Yeah,
that.
Listen, this is how I know America is back, baby. Everything was closed for Christmas Eve, probably gonna be closed early for Christmas Day. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna even get mad that the stores are closed for Christmas Eve, because for the past 4 years, nobody has been taking holidays seriously. Nobody kind of like gave reverence to holidays. For the past 4 years, nobody actually really cared. But it's a new dawn, baby. Everybody was closed Christmas Eve. I was going everywhere. So after church, I was like, yo, what are we gonna eat for dinner? We were there for like 3 hours. So everybody was starving, right? And I'm going to all the fast food places. They say, oh, I'm sorry, we're closed.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, nice. Merry Christmas. I'm happy you're closed, because you should be with your family right now and celebrating Christmas right now. You should be thinking about Jesus Christ right now. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, America is back, baby. We're getting our country back this year. That's it. We're making America great again. We're making America healthy again. We're making America crazy again. Listen, I almost went on a whole Trump speech because I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, we got to talk about literally everything. So if you want, next Tuesday, if there's anything that you wanted to say about whatever we did here, then we'll come back to it, because I've been here for a long time. I have to get off live, but you could call me.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Debbie. She says, congrats on your baptism. May you be blessed. May your future be everlasting.
Amen. Amen.
Debbie. Yes. Jenny says, just want to say, the little bit you talk about your spiritual journey gives me things to think about since I am newly out of the old Borg. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that's good,
I
Jenny.
hope we're not. Sometimes the topics we talk about could be a little harsh, but yeah.
And it's almost like a continuation of what we talk privately, and sometimes it spills on live. But that's good, because they see that you are on the other side. You see, she's at the beginning of the tunnel. We're like at the middle and the end of the tunnel. And that can give Jenny an eye view of where you can go. And that's exactly the whole point of us being so open.
And if you have any questions, you can let us know. We're here for you guys. We're here for, you guys are here for us too. Like, we're all here for you.
Right, exactly. Join the Discord server. I put my email in my bio. I got X. Follow me on X. Just be prepared for X, because I'm wild, I'm crazy, and X is a little bit more free for that. So just be prepared for that. Good night, Debbie. Okay, so I will just see you tomorrow, everybody, in the chat. Just come back tomorrow, Christmas Day. I don't know what time I should stream, so we gotta think about a time to come back on here. Oh, okay, Jenny.
For tomorrow?
Yeah, for tomorrow. So I already have it set up. I think I do have it. I just forgot what time I put.
Okay.
But tomorrow at 10 a.m. we're gonna go to the church for the Christmas services, and then my dad is coming. So like 1:30, 2 o'clock, we'll be opening up presents, and then the whole afternoon, evening, then I will come back on live.
Sounds good. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Again, Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful evening. And I hope you are enjoying your time with your family.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Bye. I'm going to end the stream. Tony, you can call me like in 5 minutes because I got to change.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
I'm a gun throwing patriot, God being patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun throwing patriot, God being patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Okay.
All red MAGA flags waving through the South like we just want 4 more years. Democrats can't get right. Trumping with that Yeezy flow. Don't go broke on Sleepy Joe. Make America great again.